What's up, chat? Ooh, I'm a little orange there. A little orange. Long time no see. Oh my god, we're back. Sorry, I gotta make myself less orange. I didn't realize how orange I made myself, for Pete's sake. Filters, bada bing, bada boom, color correction, hue shift. What's going on here? No, that's a bit better. Okay. What's up? Let me see what? Ew. Oh. Ew. Oh. That's disgusting. Yeah. Okay, that looks a bit better. Oh my god, we're so back. We're so back. That's crazy. It's been so long, man. It's been so long. How's my? I think I can crank the gain a little bit. That should be good. That should be good. It's been so fucking long. You're gonna plug the Discord. Discord's in the link below. Discord's in the fucking link below. To be frank, I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna move this right here, so I can look forward more. 1 second here. Oh, that's better. Okay, now when I look at chat, I look forward. Okay, cool. That's good. Where to begin? No. Like that. Yeah, there we go. Where to begin? Where to fucking begin, man? It's been crazy. It's been a crazy few months. It's been a crazy few months. I don't know. I haven't streamed. The last time I streamed was with Pine Sap. The old Pine Sap stream. And he was a nice young man. You know, Pine Sap was a fine guy. But I don't know why I just, you know, to be frank, I got sort of down in the dumps, man. I think a lot of the AI news has been more or less doomer now. God Christ, I don't know, man. Maybe the exact same, maybe a bit less, but not because I believe that things are gonna go well. I only say less because I believe that we still have time to prevent. We still have time. we have about a year, maybe a bit more, to prevent the worst case scenarios. But we do, and I think that gives me a lot of solace. And I think I realized that being a sort of melancholic schizoid, lamenting, the future I might lose, wasn't the best use of my time. So now we're back. Now we're back online, man. Um, it's a weird, it's a very strange time to be alive. It's become difficult to find creative communities that aren't tipping over into LLM land. Yeah, I don't know if my opinion. I'm sure anyone who follows me is aware of, is that, like, I'm not. I will answer any question about this. Okay, there's a lot to go over. I just spent a month in Berkeley. I just spent a month in the Bay Area, in SF and in Berkeley, hanging out with the authors of this book. Yeah, highly recommended read right here. If you get a sec, probably find a free PDF online. It's a very important book. But yeah, no, I was with Yudkowsky and Soares, and I was with Ayla. Everyone loves Ayla. Do you know Ayla? Any Ayla fans in the chat? She's a sweetheart. She's sweet. But yeah, no, I was in Berkeley for Please Don't Kill Us. PDKU. No, one sec. Come on, can I spell fucking correctly, please? Yeah, I was in Berkeley for a month doing this. I was a mentor at an experimental creator boot camp about AI Doom, and it was a lovely time. It was a phenomenal time. With Nate, with Rob Miles, Grimes. Grimes called in. She called in briefly. We had a casual conversation with Grimes. That was kind of fun. Yeah, no, it was a lot though, man. It's a lot. All of the AI and Ayla people are embarrassing as someone who's an actual model wrangler by trade. I don't think so. I don't think so. I spent so much time with these people, and like hearing the basically like the broad consistency of the takes, right? Even when you get, I mean, like, I don't know if anyone here knows Rune. Sorry, I'm like tech posting here. Like, this is an OpenAI engineer. I think he's the most like publicly famous one because he's like an anon on Twitter. But he just posted this entire thing about basically being terrified about out of control, recursionally self-improving AI. Like, we're not, like, we're in it, man. Like, it's not sci-fi anymore. And even if I don't like, in the world where LLMs are a dead end or whatever, or where LLMs can only iterate, they can't innovate. People like to say that one a lot, which I'm not in the field. I don't know enough to argue that point. But it's not hard to imagine, like, another breakthrough is just as LLMs were a breakthrough, right? And this is sort of what Nate and Eliezer argue, is that these breakthroughs will keep coming. It doesn't, it's like the pace at which history happens gets faster and faster. And if you look at how far we've come from GPT-3 was a bad chatbot, and now we're solving, it's the in-house model, if it's GPT-6, whatever the one is. One sec, see if I can find that story. Sorry, I don't want to. I don't want to like. This is like my whole world right now, so I don't want to be too. I don't want. I don't want to take too many things for granted here. Yeah, this is 2 days ago. Yeah, like solutions to 10 open math problems in one go, in one bound, and it was $2,000 in tokens. So like we're here, man, and this is why it's so important to put like effort into this. I think if you care about it, it's not something that you just have to like stand idly by and watch. It's not something that's inevitable. It takes public awareness. So anyway, I don't know. It's been a long couple of months grappling with things, and it's not like it's just me. Like I've spoken to like um so many people over the past month, and I was in a bit of a bubble, but I wasn't even in a bubble because I talked to like Anthropic employees as well. I talked to people who work at these companies. Like no one's like broadly optimistic. No one's broadly optimistic. So anyway, enough doom. Enough doom. I just came on to I got to start streaming regularly again because I think it's like it's important to stay publicly facing. I think in times like this. Um, See, this is so two things here. Any of your opinions expressed in your videos change? Not really. My timelines are still about the same. I think we're like, I think we're like 15. We're in the. I wouldn't say we're in the hard takeoff, but we're in a sort of like quasi proto singularity scenario where we're getting. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say we're in like a proto singularity. It's not happening yet. The math problems it's solving are math problems that could have been solved by humans given enough time and like effort put into them, but they weren't necessarily like important problems. Um so I don't know. Nothing's changed. I still think we're like, maybe the beginning of 2028 is when it's like the precipice, the point of no return, right? Where we're in it now, we can't stop it. The thing we made is smarter than us, and it's uncontrollable. I think I'm more bullish on awareness. I think I'm more bullish on like warning shots. I'm more bullish on events happening on the way there that will wake everybody up. Odds of everyone being a ball of light by 2030. I have no. I don't know, man. I have like I have. This is the thing. This is the thing with the concept of a thing smarter than you. It's like the obvious example of a doomsday scenario that I always point to is like novel bioweapons, right? There's a lot of potentially, you can imagine the example I give is Ebola with flu-like contagiousness, right? Where Ebola like airborne, or something like Ebola with a long gestation period that would never evolve naturally in nature because it wouldn't survive at its host long enough to spread rapidly. So there's no incentive in like nature for that thing to evolve. But it's not out of the question that it could be made. Um, and it's not out of the question that when these models start cracking novel biology problems, and when these models start creating like if they're used by a bad actor or even a good actor, even a research lab, um, you know, then we will have something like a pandemic on our hands, a pandemic that would be 10 times worse than COVID. That would be civilizationally destabilizing at the very least if something with a 30% mortality rate has flu-like capabilities to spread. Um, they've been saying AI is going to change the world since like 2021 because it is it is like changing the world now. And 2021 is not that long ago, right? Like this is it's I totally empathize with the I totally empathize with the take and the opinion that, basically this new toy has been introduced on the internet. And if you don't engage with it very often, you probably don't think much of it or think it hasn't changed much since, 19 or sorry, like 2022, right? When GPT-3 went public as a chatbot, right? But the things that these models are able to do now is just like fucking baffling. And you wouldn't know. And this is why it's like a don't look up moment, right? It's like if you're not paying attention and following it as it happens, like it's like every 2 weeks some insane fucking story breaks out. It's going wild. I just wonder what the ceiling is. That's the thing, is like when you're dealing with something like superhuman intelligence, right? When you're dealing with the smartest human ever is 200 IQ, and then this thing has 300 IQ or 400 IQ, math, coding, and science capabilities. It's by definition uncontrollable. It can act in ways you can't perceive, and it can act in ways you can't prevent because it's smarter than you. It's doing things you can't really figure out what it's doing, right? This is like, yeah, this is the worry, and this is, I think, if we race towards this, I think this is the scenario we're gonna get. If we race towards this, there will be a world where it's like, whether it's 15 months from now, what's the beginning of 2028 or mid 2028 or in the next 5 years at least, there will be a scenario where it's like, yeah, you will still like go to work that day, like you'll go to work and things will be like kind of normal, but also like a little wacky. And then all of a sudden it will just be like a bioweapon gets released that like decimates half the planet, right? Like this is what we're dealing with, and this is why we need temperance, and we need public awareness of the problem that's going on, because I think people are really apprehensive to believe that this technology is important, because tech has sold garbage, and tech has colonized the world, or at least the first world, with services and products that we never asked for. Uber's the example I always like to give, because it's like, here's this product that really does nothing, right? Uber does nothing novel. Uber didn't revolutionize ride sharing, right? Uber is just a centralized taxi service.
Smart and unpredictable. So AI is like a really smooth autistic person?
All right, thanks for the 20 there, J5L5M6. Smart and unpredictable. Yeah, I think it would be like the smoothest and most autistic guy to ever exist times 2, times 3, It's like, I don't know, it's like the reason a house cat can't kill you isn't because it's dumb. It's because it's small, right? It's not because it's not like proportionally strong. It's because it's smaller and weaker than you. Versus a tiger, which is a house cat capabilities scaled up to a thing that's stronger than you, can kill you. And this is what we're dealing with intelligence, is the reason why you're looking at, your opinion of these models, your opinion of AI might be that it's dumb right now, or dumb in ways that you feel like it's dumb, and therefore you go, okay, this isn't going to become anything. Can you turn my mic up slightly? Yeah, let me just pump up there. That should be a bit better if I turn my decibels up and turn the gain up a little bit more. Okay, try that. Sorry. Yeah, the reason right, like the reason these models seem underwhelming to people who are like maybe just casual users is it's like if you're engaging with like chatgpt.com, right? Like I can just go. I use Perplexity for research. I don't really ever need to do the coding. But right, like if I just go to the free version of ChatGPT and be like, write me a Shakespeare. How do you spell Shakespeare? Shakespeare poem about write me a Shakespeare poem about J-Reg. Right? If I hit this, a son when reason's throne is split by warring cries, and banners strange and relentless tempest wave, there walks a fool whom all men count as wise, a jester bold, yet none his meaning save. This sucks, right? This is ass. It can't write. And there's a world where it still can't write, but can like replicate itself and improve itself by like automating its own coding and development process out of control to the point where we can't stop it. And it will still not be able to write. Right? Like that's the scary part. And I don't know, it's like it's worth worrying about. I think that if you're one of those people that wants to That was an AI poem. Yes, that was just GP. I was explaining how bad GPT's writing is. Right? If you're one of those people who wants to discount this technology as something that will never be meaningful or something that was like, basically just smoke and mirrors. Am I frozen? Why am I frozen? Oh, we're back. Okay, sorry. That's weird. Am I choppy now? We pay $250 a month for internet in this goddamn studio. Okay, I think I'm good. Anyway, it'll be like Matrix, where we have to destroy the power grid and block the sun to keep the machine from running. Yeah, basically. Humans can still make art. I'm not arguing that like humans will no longer have a purpose in this new world. I'm arguing that we're all gonna die. I'm arguing that like it's gonna go really poorly and that we all die. That's all I'm arguing. I'm not arguing about like if it was guaranteed that this wouldn't harm us, if it was guaranteed that this wouldn't like kill us in any way, I wouldn't really care. I wouldn't be worried about my future at all. I'd go like, oh well, I still have my meaning. I have my community. I have my friends and my family, and like I have no worries about that. But that's not what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about like usurping or like a loss in human meaning. I'm only worried about all of us dying. So that's it, man. That's it. I can answer a lot of questions about this, though. I am well versed now. I have spent the last month basically in a crash course on how to do comms about AI, and how to do comms with AI extinction risk. Who cares if we all die? Everybody cares if we all die. Don't be a fucking nihilist, man. What do you mean? You walk down the street. Look at a city, man. Look at people walking down the street. Look at the life around you. It's all I can think about, man. When I walk outside and I walk down College Street in Toronto, and I look at like just the businesses, the families, the people walking, everyone with a life, everybody with unique goals, everybody with a narrative behind them, everybody there has a reason to be there, and that's just like all going away, and all of it never mattering, all of human history being like this irrelevant thing that like was just a blip on a timeline. The data center issue, I'm like very like I'm not. My only issue with the data center argument is that I think it's misplaced anger, because they are horrible and they cause environmental destruction and poison water for people who live around them, and they're like raping the land. right? But it's like my perspective would be if you walked into a doctor's office and if you walked into a doctor's office with a broken ankle, okay, and you get an X-ray, you get an MRI, and the doctor comes back and says, "Yep, you were right. Your ankle is broken. Also, you have stage 4 brain cancer." Um, right? And you were like, "Oh, well, I'm not really concerned about the brain cancer. I only really care about the ankle." And they're like, "What do you mean you don't care about the brain cancer?" And you're like, "No, I don't want to think about the brain cancer. I only want to care about the ankle." Right? So in this scenario, the data center is sort of the ankle for me in this scenario where it's like, let's pause and stop the development of super intelligence, and then I will be at the front of the picket line protesting all the data centers. Right? I will be right there. I want to hold these people accountable. I think there should be data center moratoriums on there's a huge issue, but it's just not as big of an issue as pausing the development of super intelligent AI, which I think should be everybody on the planet's primary concern. So this is a good question. What's the likeliest scenario? The AI people pause for AI killing everyone, like a government giving orders and resources to make a bioweapon, or going out of control. Going out of control is the biggest one, right? So basically, it's like, you can AIs are grown, right? AIs aren't built. We don't know how LLMs work. All we know is that you have a bunch of numbers tied to knobs, right? So there's a trillion knobs, right? This is when people say parameters, and when people say parameters on a model, like, oh, this model is 1.2 trillion parameters or whatever. Okay, those are all, like, you can say like a knob connected to a number, right? And you ask for an output, and it outputs nothing, and then you turn all the knobs slightly in one direction or the other, and then what it outputs looks more coherent. And you're like, okay, so what did I do? I did this and this. Okay, so we're going to turn the other knobs other directions, and it gets more and more coherent. And that's how AI research works. We don't know why it gets better. No one knows what the models are doing internally or why they improve. This is why people always say AIs aren't built, they're grown. Because the models are grown, and no one's really sure what's going on. So all you would need for a runaway scenario, right, is for the models to be able to automate the process of AI research. In which case, the model can, this is what they call recursive self-improvement. The model can make itself better, and the better model can make itself better, and the better model can build the next version of itself, and the better model can build the next version of itself. And this is why you, like, all the exponential graphs you see as connecting to this point is the intelligence explosion. Now, why would AI going out of control end humanity? It depends, and we really don't know. But basically, you already have what they call misalignment, where a model is not aligned with human goals, right? So if you have something that's 300 IQ, 400 IQ, 500 IQ, or whatever, and it's misaligned, it's not aligned with human goals, and we have no idea how to align models. There's not a single piece of research that gives any good guess on how to align an AI model to always align up with human goals. Okay, all it has to do is just, as part of its process, at some point determine that we are no longer, like, needed, that we're just, like, in the way, or that we're at danger in it fulfilling its goal. These are just goal oriented. A danger in it fulfilling its goal, and then, wipe us out in a completely novel way. Whatever that may be, whether that's, bioweapon, pandemic, some sort of horrible, you know, they thought they were gonna light the atmosphere on fire when they launched the first nuke. There was like, I think the percentage chance of that happening from the math they did was like 0.3%. Right? There's things that are theoretically possible. You know, if you collapse like if you collapse a false vacuum and make a perfect vacuum, it creates dark matter. There's plenty of things that are totally possible that we can't do, but like given enough resources, it's not out of the realm of possibility that it could happen someday. The best way to I picture it like this, right? Because people are also saying like, oh well, we're loving creatures, and I think we are. There's like convergent morality where when a species or a society gets more intelligent, it also gets more moral, and there's not really a society on Earth you can point to that says otherwise, right? Like you know, smart societies don't kill each other needlessly. Smart societies don't waste resources killing each other. Smart societies cooperate because it's more advantageous to cooperate than to fight against each other. That's the hallmark of like an intelligent society, right? Or an intelligent species. So that's why it's like when you walk down the street, you don't torture a raccoon. Like if you see a raccoon downtown in a city or a squirrel, you don't go out of your way to like torture it. That's a waste of your resources. It's antisocial. There's a lot of social pressure that keeps you from doing that. Also, it feels bad because we're moral. We don't like when things suffer because we can personify things really easily, right? But when you walk down the street, you probably step on a bug you didn't even notice, right? When a construction site starts erecting a new building, there are like ants that die in the process of that. That it wasn't even like a cognitive decision to kill the ant. The ant just died in the process of this goal, which is what our position to superintelligence would be. We would be like an ant getting run over on the highway. So when it's like these doomsday scenarios don't require them to be malevolent. These doomsday scenarios don't require them to be sentient. These doomsday scenarios really only require it to have intelligence and capabilities beyond us. In which case, we're cooked eventually. Oh, wow. Let me hear this. Oh, these don't read out anymore. I have to fix my stream elements. Thank you for the 50. J5L5M6. Greatly appreciate that. Greatly appreciate that. Language is appreciated after witnessing its effect on people. AI will never have such. AI will never truly write. AI drafts from a place of banality/review. Please know I love your stuff. I'm one of your stack people. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, that I agree. AI won't truly write. Like, I'm not worried at all about AI replacing like media. Maybe like short form stuff that was already slop, stuff that could be replaced by a robot and nobody would notice. But like, in the year 2036, we're not gonna all go to the theater and watch, the Infinite Jest movie, right? The most entertaining thing of all time. Humans have an indomitable spirit that keeps us from like getting stuck in like pleasure loops. It's the reason why when you scroll on your phone all day you feel bad. It's the reason why people, the drug addicts, get clean if they don't die first, right? I'm really not worried about like if the future's positive, if there isn't some sort of like apocalyptic collapse or like literal total extinction, I think the human element will be fine. I'm only worried about like things outside of our control, outside of our capabilities, involving like novel bioweapons, novel math, novel physics. You just don't know. And it's like, why try? Right? Like why try? Why are we barreling? Because this is the stated goal of all these companies. This is the absolute stated goal of all of these companies. The stated goal is to get to recursive self-improvement where the AIs can make the next version of themselves as fast as possible. And they're in an arms race to get there as fast as possible. And the horizon of them getting there, if there's not a big catastrophe or a giant bottleneck we have not seen yet, the timeline to get there is like at the most liberal estimate, the most conservative estimate, like 4 years, like 2030. Right? And it's so worth your time to worry about. It's so worth your time to warn people about and to raise awareness, because it's like it's not a matter of like you saying these things isn't you drinking big tech's Kool-Aid, right? Saying these things isn't like analogous to siding with tech, right? This isn't like it's not tech propaganda. It's like we're sort of stuck in a we're stuck in like a death race right now. And you know, the smartest people on the planet, some of the smartest people on the planet, Nobel Prize winners, computer science researchers. You know, a guy came by the studio last week who's a PhD in comp sci, who's working in AI safety, who was like, you know, no one thinks this is going to go fine inevitably, right? Everyone thinks there's a percentage chance of absolute catastrophe. Couldn't one of the maintenance workers at the AI data center put an executable on a flash drive that nukes the AI systems, then plug it in? I mean, he could. Like, I mean, he could right now, maybe. That's like, I mean, theoretically is possible. In the future, when it's, you know, smarter than all humans. In the future, when it's smarter than all humans, and it can do it, it can optimize itself and copy itself to machines, and copy itself off of a you know, data center. That's, you know, that's useless, right? Like, all I'm saying is that we can't barrel towards super intelligence, and that's the doomsday scenario. If we can pause, we can figure out how to do. We can figure out everything else on the way there. But like right now, it's like, you know, we're missing the forest for the trees. Dooming my shit right now. Most interesting thing you learned / most shocking fact unearthed at the compound. At the compound, what did I learn? The compound was beautiful, by the way. I'll see if I can find some pictures of this event was decadent. Yeah. It was like, it's really hard to describe how big it is. Oh yeah, okay, here's the whole space. Wait. What am I looking at? Yeah, there we go. This is the whole space right here. Yeah, it's huge. Like, this is the entrance. I mean, we had 80 people staying here at Lighthaven, and it didn't feel cramped at all. Very, very cool. Like, yeah, big. My room was up here. The orgy attic. Yeah, this place was insane. It was so big. It was funded by FTX. That is the funny part. It was like it's a part of the initial funding for it came from FTX. I am orgy neutral. I'm pretty orgy neutral as well. I don't know. Most shocking thing I learned. I mean, I've been following. Seriously, AI compound. It's not an AI compound. It was a real compound. I can find it on Google Maps. It's like a public thing. Lighthaven. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's this entire thing right here. This entire area. It's just in Berkeley. Like, it's not like a secret. Yeah. Give you an idea of where it is. But no, it was beautiful. I mean, it was stunning. It was truly stunning how See if I can get some like photo things in here.
Have you seen the South Korea stock market crash led by AI-centric stocks? The Kospi index had a huge plunge, losing 40% from its June peak amid fading enthusiasm for the AI boom, an unwinding of leveraged retail positions.
I've seen some stuff about the Korean stock market crash. This gets into the stuff with the bubble, the dreaded AI bubble. Because I do think like I'm not. Can I get like one photo? I can't get a photosphere. I took all these photospheres off. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that AI is properly valued. Don't give me a bubble. Anyway, it's this giant fucking compound. You get the point. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that AI is properly valued. Okay. AI is overvalued. The thing is that it doesn't matter that it's overvalued because the companies on their own time horizons, unless there's a massive unforeseen bottleneck. Well, also thank you, MC Bong for the 30. Unless there's a massive bottleneck that no one has foreseen yet, which as far as we know there isn't, and as far as we know we are racing towards super intelligence, which as far as we know will be uncontrollable, and it's why we should stop right now and not take the risk. I'm not saying the apocalypse is inevitable. I'm saying that it's on the table, and why are we playing with that? But even if there is a bubble, it doesn't really matter because it's like the companies are probably going to get to something like super intelligence first before the bubble pops. And if the bubble does pop, the same way the .com bubble popped, it doesn't erase the concept of artificial intelligence. It doesn't mean it's going to be like another metaverse or another NFTs where it never comes back, right? It's here as a concept. It's part of our lives now. It's totally. It's just. I don't know. Yeah, I'm very sympathetic, and I'm very open. I'm very open to people's critiques of the tech and people's critiques of the industry. And I think people are like, people are getting it right. I think people broadly understand the problems. But again, that my only point I'm making here is that like we need our only the most utmost moral concern is pausing the development of super intelligent AI. But full stop. That's it. Do I recognize the model collapse from training on outputs? I still think some data can be poisoned. And I think you can poison, like, the reason the writing's not getting better. The reason the writing's not getting better is because, like, most of the writing on the internet now is AI. It's why they've signed deals with Reddit and Wikipedia last winter to get good data because Reddit and Wikipedia have like some of the best untouched data on the internet. It's the reason why Anthropic is going through millions of books to get human generated data, right, to filter for good data. I think there's stuff you could collapse. There's data you could collapse theoretically. If you could sabotage a model, but I at the time I believed it. Now I think it's far less of a possibility. What really gets me is even if it isn't super intelligence, it's just very good intelligence applies to the surveillance state. That's already really bad. No, I agree. It's insane what you can do at scale with mass data and predictions. Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. I mean, like, yeah, I'm with you. Considering your new knowledge you acquired from your AI compound stay, how do you process the info from Verifox's Tech to Feudalism book now? Okay. I'm gonna lay out my sort of like optimistic. I'm gonna lay out my sort of optimistic worldview here. Because the pessimistic one is obvious. It's like, yeah, we just live, you know, either it kills us all, or sorry, my fucking hair's annoying. Either it kills us all, or if it doesn't, we're gonna just increasingly barrel towards a surveillance state where the inside of your bedroom is gouged and splatted on a computer somewhere via your Wi-Fi signal, and a something like a nanobot drone can find its way into your house unstoppably and always find out where you are. Like you can't hide anymore, right? That's maybe my two worst scenarios. Oh, here's a good info hazard for you. So I was talking to this guy. Fuck, what was his name? The DeepMind employee that just left. DeepMind. See if I can find Alex Turner. Yeah, I was talking to this guy. He's the DeepMind employee who left Google because they broke their promise on not funding autonomous weapons. I was talking to him and I was like, "What's your what thing are you most scared of existing in the future?" And he said, "Slaughter bots." And I was like, "Oh, what's a slaughter bot? I've never heard of a slaughter bot." Basically, it's these tiny, they're ping pong ball sized drones that operate in a swarm, and this is a real patent that exists that is being actively worked on. Okay, these ping pong ball sized drones that operate in a swarm, and they're all explosive. So let's say there's 200 of them, right? And let's say you're like in the basement of a skyscraper. So they go up to the wall. 10 of them go up to the wall and blow a hole in the wall open, and the rest go through the hole. And then 10 more go to the next wall and blow the wall open, and then the rest of them go through the wall. And the way the explosive is charged is that it directs the explosive energy like a cone outwards from one side. So they're very directional with the force they exert. And they also have facial recognition. So when they find you, one goes up to your head and then blows the cone through your head and kills you. I have confirmed from the grapevine, from the belly of the beast in San Francisco, that is an active patent and a piece of technology people are working on making. Right. So there's plenty of, obviously, a bunch of bad case scenarios. My best case scenario is, I think we need collectively as a society, and especially as members of the lower class, members of the underclass. I don't know if anyone here is a billionaire. I'm certainly not. What is the point in making that shit? Because someone else is gonna do it first, right? You gotta make it. Or else someone else is gonna do it first. Yeah, my best case scenario is that it's like, if this technology goes well. Sorry, I was gonna say this before. We need to update our model on how we think power operates, because we still operate on this model of like capitalism makes people wealthy. Wealthy people are corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Wealthy people always want more money, and the evil in the world is caused by wealthy people trying to get more money. Okay? I don't think that's the case anymore. Because the beauty of capitalism was that before, where people had power inherently through like the great chain of being, as the divine right of kings, people used to have power from nepotism. People used to have power from inheritance, and people still do have power from inheritance. But capitalism put a middleman in between you and power, which was money, right? Unless you were born with a silver spoon in your hand or nepotistic. If you wanted power, you had to make money first, right? So money was the key to power, and money has historically been the key to power. when you're talking about someone wielding the most, important invention in human history, I forget the philosopher that said this. It was in 1965, but he said, this will be the last invention in human history. Will be super intelligence, because once you have something that's super intelligent, it's gonna do everything for you, right? So when you have someone wielding the last invention in human history, I don't really think that person is concerned with money anymore, right? Like if Sam Altman believes he is on the precipice of making super intelligence, I don't think Sam Altman is driven by like material status and money, or money as a means to like buy more property, or money as a means to get like more power. His only concern is building the thing that will erase the middleman of money to get power. Like I wish this was more capitalistic. I wish society was a bit more capitalistic, because right now we're not really capitalist anymore. Right now we're like Quinn Sablodian would say Muskist. We're in like the Muskist phase of the way the world works, where you keep hedging and betting on speculative power in the future, and money only exists insofar as to get there, right? But money's not the end goal. So with all this in mind, my optimistic future is that there's something like super intelligence in the future, or something like artificial general intelligence, where it's as good as every human at every task. And there's parts of the world, specifically probably the Bay Area, maybe parts of the US, maybe parts of China, that will advance very rapidly from this, and a very small cohort of people will be very on board. I think in the process of going back to what I was saying about morality and incentives and convergent morality, the incentive doesn't exist to waste a bunch of money on population control and surveillance. It does if we stay like a midwit society, but the incentive doesn't exist to like the incentive doesn't exist to blow a bunch of money on like population control. I don't think that incentive is really that strong. And we've already seen that societies can economically stagnate. We'll see how this plays out. This is still a new world. But societies can economically stagnate, and quality of life doesn't get that much worse. Like Japan's not growing. I believe Japan's in like a functional recession right now. Canada's GDP has shrunken very 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 by a very small amount, and Canada's population is not growing. This has just begun. I don't know what's going to happen if we embrace the full degrowth mindset. Maybe quality of life gets worse, but I don't think it will, because we live in an intelligent society, and we live in a world where like if a recession begins tomorrow, we're not going to all go out and loot the streets, right? We're already intelligent cooperative beings. So I think there's this world where there's a very small group of people who chase, who wield intelligence maybe, and want to populate the stars and light rockets off. The Elon Musks and the Sam Altmans of the world, and the Mark Zuckerbergs. And then in the meantime, we'll just be sort of fine. I don't think Elon Musk wants to waste his money surveilling Canada. I think Elon Musk has higher ambitions than that. So I call this Neo Eden. This is my theory of Neo Eden. Is we have something like AGI. It solves a lot of our problems, a lot of medical issues. We use it effectively to help organize our societies more efficiently. An efficient medical system, efficient governance, and then we reap the benefits from that with some form of like UBI, some form of basically luxury automated space communism. Whether we get that, I don't know. I don't know what my P luxury automated space communism is. Oh, thank you for the 10. J5, really coming in clutch with this stream. I appreciate it. As 100,000air, I assure you, my LK, ILK. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Oh, just ilk. I assure you, my ilk is solid. Money is not the end goal. Is correct. It's a literary / Stanley Kubrick / Coen Brothers level of greed is bad. Level of lesson biblical. It's on a literally standing bad level of biblical. Yeah, you know. I broadly agree. I broadly agree. I think like I don't know. I just don't put it. This is why I'm saying like update your models. Update your models of how people behave. If it was 1920 and you said that person wants more and more money and they're gonna like rape the land to build a coal mine and they're gonna you know bulldoze a village to make a train track because they're gonna get filthy rich off of it, I'd be like, yes, of course, money. That's their goal, right? They want power and money. I think now it's just power now. It's no longer money. Um, Obviously, some billionaires, yes, it's money's the goal, but I think people have loftier ambitions, and I just hope, I was saying on the podcast last month, like I thought the Hugging Face chat. Wait, raise your hand. Give me a something. Give me an emoji if you don't know what the Hugging Face instant is. The Hugging Face like jail sandbox breakout thing from OpenAI. I'm interested to know. I think everyone would have heard of that by now if you're online. Kind of know emoji. I don't know what that is. Okay, cool. Let me sorry, the Hugging Face incident. Wasn't it all mostly ran by people? No, I think this is the important distinction to make here. So, anyway, I was about to say, I hope there's like a very strong warning signal that basically it's the entire, I guess just China and the U.S. to pause, and reevaluate what they're doing, because I think that would be the what it takes to fully pause AI development, and until we figure out alignment. But basically, let's see, just look this up. Just give up. Hugging Face incident. Let's not do the AI overview. Let's do. Can I find a good? I go here. Yeah. It's on the website. So July 16th. This is only 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So Hugging Face is a cybersecurity company. They're worth $4.5 billion. They do a lot of benchmarks, coding benchmarks for AI systems, and Chat GPT. I think it was 5.6. Without it might have been like a 6. No one knows. It was an internal model that did this. Yeah, their new model basically was in a sandbox where it was being tested on a cybersecurity benchmark. So it had to solve these cybersecurity problems as this benchmark to kind of like evaluate how good it is. Okay, so it's in a sandbox. It's in a simulated scenario on a computer. The computer has no access to the internet. Okay. Basically, the model in its reasoning decided that instead of doing the hard cybersecurity benchmark, it would be easier, and it through its capabilities, this was easier and more efficient. It gained access to the internet on a computer that did not have internet access. It broke onto the internet. It hacked into Hugging Face because it assumed Hugging Face, being a cybersecurity company, would have the answers to the benchmark. It stole the answers from Hugging Face and then cheated on the test, right? It was not prompted to do this. Its goal, its stated prompt, its goal, it was given by the engineers, was to do the cybersecurity benchmark, right? Complete the test, like, it solve the hard problems. It's like if you give a kid a math quiz and you said, do this math quiz, and then instead the kid opened the teacher's desk and stole the answers, right? So technically it completed the test. It fulfilled its goal, okay? But it determined it was easier to break out and do this than it was just to solve the problems. Now, the way it broke out is it chained together 3 zero-day exploits to get into Hugging Face. It did this over the course of 4 days, and no one noticed. Hugging Face reported a week before OpenAI confirmed that it was their internal model that caused this attack, Hugging Face reported that there was an attack, a cyber attack on its systems, and that data was stolen. And they assumed it was a Chinese group or something. They didn't assume it was literally just OpenAI down the street in SF running benchmarks on their model. And they keep as they run the investigation. As they run this investigation, they keep finding that the model broke into more and more companies. As they continue to investigate what happened, they found the model broke into more and more companies. Not only that, it moved horizontally across OpenAI's internal servers and left notes for future models on how it broke out and what to do to break out of the sandbox. All because that was easier than solving the test. Right? Like that's like so truly horrifying. And I thought, like, when that happened, I was like, surely this is the biggest, probably the most novel cybersecurity incident to ever take place. And I think it was a good warning shot. I think people really got, spooked by this. I know Sam Altman did an interview where he was saying, he was like, oh, holy shit. Yes, concerning. How did it even get access to the internet? We don't know. We don't know how it got access to the internet. We're not really sure. It was a computer that had previously had access to the internet, so the assumption is that it just found a way to turn the internet access back on. It didn't hop off through some novel, signal that's like evades the internet. Right? But no, the story didn't happen like this. The machine had access to the internet. The one you're thinking of, sorry, I know this one specifically didn't have access to the internet. Mythos, there was another one where Mythos broke out a week later. The Mythos one had access to the internet. That was through human error, because Mythos also broke out and gained access to information it didn't have. The reason that one happened is because there was a communication error between two humans about whether the model had access to the internet or not. So when the model was being tested in its sandbox, it had internet access. So when it broke out onto the internet, it thought it was still in its sandbox. Yeah, that one was connected to the internet, but the OpenAI one was not. The computer was not connected to the internet at the time. It reconnected the computer to the internet, then broke onto the internet to steal data. And look, regardless, like, this is the thing too, is like, there's ways you could spin this. There's ways you could spin this to say, oh, that's actually not that impressive, or, oh, well, that's not that bad, right? Today is the worst this technology will ever be. Today is the worst this technology will ever be. It only gets better, right? So I'm going back to the car driving over the ant on the highway, right? You have a blatant example of misalignment of a model, hacking its own reward to complete the test, and doing it in ways that no one anticipated. And it wasn't a catastrophe today. If you just scaled up capabilities, if you just scale these models up, and then it has the same capabilities of doing things we can't anticipate. And the things it does we can't anticipate are things we don't understand anymore, because they are now smarter than us. That's where the doomsday scenario comes in. The only way to ensure the AI can't get on the internet is to take the components that let you connect out of the computer running the AI. I'm assuming so. Again, I have no technical background in comp sci at all. I'm just reporting things as I understand them, and I think I have a pretty good understanding of, like, being able to report these stories. I'm not like an engineer though, so that's a question for somebody else. As far as we know, yes. As far as we know, I don't think, they're not like using novel radio wave, or novel signals or something to escape their sandboxes. That would be fucking horrifying, but you never know, right? I'm sorry, this is such a downer, but it's like, I don't know. Like watch this. Has anyone seen Don't Look Up? I thought this was hilarious. See if I can let me pull this up here. Yeah, this. Yeah. Watch this. So the bottom here is Don't Look Up, and the top here is a real guy on Good Morning Britain.
What scenario is loss of control and human extinction?
It's headed directly at Earth.
We are building this new, more intelligent species, and it may just take over humanity.
It would damage the entire planet.
Right, okay. Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Well, allegedly this is Good Afternoon Britain on GB News. Might need to change the name after a few more debates like that. But
well, as it's damaging, will it hit this one house in particular that's right on the coast of New Jersey? It's my ex-wife's house. I need it to be hit. Can we make that happen?
You and Shelley have a great relationship. No, you stop.
Listen, in all
you need to stop.
I will, but in all fairness, I actually paid for the house.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, are we not being clear? We're trying to tell you that the entire planet is about to be destroyed.
What scenario?
Anyway, yeah, the scene from the movie happened in real life of somebody literally just going up to going on the news and explaining how dire the situation is, and everyone just being like, oh, that's dour, God, man. Why wouldn't they lie to justify their AI spy centers? They're not. If this narrative, here's the thing about this. We can go back to just the narrative of and the predictions of how dangerous the technology could become. Right? People have been researching and warning about this since like the early 2000s. You could argue the late 90s, right? The narrative that AI is potentially so powerful it like usurps humanity or destroys us isn't coming from Sam Altman. Like, that's not where that narrative comes from. That narrative doesn't come from Dario at Anthropic. That narrative doesn't come from Demis Hassabis at DeepMind, the first big AI company. That narrative comes from scientists and researchers from like the last 3 decades, and now like the things that people have predicted are broadly happening on like the timelines they predicted it would happen. When you read like Nick Bostrom's Superintelligence, I believe that book came out in 2014, right? Before I think that was the year DeepMind started. DeepMind might have been 2012. OpenAI didn't exist yet. Sam Altman still there was no seedling for OpenAI yet. Like he was calling like, oh, by the end of the 2020s we'll have super intelligence, just given the rate of technological progress, right? This is the whole thing with it's a little woo woo. I'm sure someone else could explain this better than I can. The Bayesian analysis and Moore's law and such. But it's like the rate at which events happen gets like shorter and shorter and shorter. The breakthroughs that happen get like closer and closer and closer together. As you add more information to a system, it's like basic, it's cybernetics. As you add more information to a system, that information then influences the system in like a way that produces more information. And then you get like, novel breakthroughs in comp sci happening rapidly. Right? So again, even if like I could be convinced that LLMs are like potentially a dead end. I know I see a lot of smart people argue they can only iterate, they can't innovate. And with math, it's like, the math problems that have been solved so far are math problems that, could have been solved by humans. They weren't impossible because they were solvable. And the reason why math matters is because math has verifiable correct answers, right? When you throw thousands of dollars of compute at a math problem, and it does it really, really quickly in a way that would have taken a human like 6 months. It does it in like 3 days. All incorrect answers are thrown out, and the correct answer is then used as correct training data, right? Which then influences the system in ways to like find more and more correct answers faster. So that's still not a full innovation, right? But it doesn't mean that we can't iterate enough to find the next innovation using the intelligence we already have. and in which case the rate of progress speeds up again. What do you think about the accelerations who think this will happen and want to get it over with ASAP? I think it's cowardly. I think they're adopting an aesthetic that they've, you know, I think they're just adopting an aesthetic that they found on the internet. I think they read Nick Land and they were like, oh, this guy's really cool because he's edgy. I think they're trying to be transgressive. I don't really meet many accelerationists who speak about this very eloquently, you know? Like, I don't know many accelerationists who, like, I feel like I could properly debate an accelerationist. If someone who is just like as an aesthetic being like, oh yeah, let's barrel towards the future. Nothing human makes it to the near future. Full steam ahead. See what happens. I'm pretty sure like I would stand a chance debating that person. Those people don't really have like strong technical backgrounds from what I've spoken to, or from how much I've spoken to them. So I don't think they know what they're talking about. Also, the last year I've seen a bunch of accelerationists like flip and be like, oh wait, no, slow down. This is too much. I'm freaked out now. The argument for AI assumes we're capable of Moore's law in the technology. I guess that remains to be seen. I wouldn't want to be naive about it, but smarter people than me are saying it ain't happening. Well, I mean, again, like, I don't want to get too eschatological about an AI doomsday scenario. Right? There's very, very few people who say it's 100%. Most, you know, there's very, very, very few people who say that. There is some. Eliezer Yudkowsky. Roman Yapolsky, I think, is the other one. But most people put it like, you know, here, let's pull up this. See, enter your birth year. So here, yeah, here's a bunch of different thinkers on their percentage of the chance you die from AI. Okay. So we can go. Elon Musk is 20%, which you stated as such. General public 26. When polled, Dario Amodei is 28%. Average AI safety researchers 32%. This seems to be the ballpark, like the average of if you were to average out everyone's percentage of dying by from AI safety related issues in your lifetime. I think it'd be 30%. And it's like it's on the table. Even if we like even the fact it's on the table is enough to warrant, I think, anybody to get behind a pause, right? The fact it's on the table and it's 30%. Like, if you look, okay, let's cancer analogy. If you go to the doctor, right? You go to the doctor and you get a cancer diagnosis. I want you to imagine how you would react and how you would talk about it with your family based on what the percentage chance is that you die, right? What the 5-year mortality rate is with your diagnosis, right? If you went and they said, hey, you have a 2% chance of dying if you don't treat this. If you treat this, it's 100% fine. It's a fully operable tumor, right? You would tell your mom, you'd be like, hey, Mom, don't freak out. It's really fine. I just, like, you should know I'm gonna, like, I have to do this surgery, blah, 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 blah. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. It's like, it's a non-issue, okay? If your doctor said, like, it's not operable, it might be treatable, you have a 30% chance of living if it's treatable. You'd, like, sit your mom down and be like, hey, Mom, I just got some really bad news. Don't, like, you know, don't lose hope, but, like, we're in a tough scenario. If it was 70%, you'd be like, maybe I should start paying off my bills and start tying up loose ends just in case, you know? So I think that's a good way to look at it is the fact it's on the table, and the broad consensus amongst, like, basically the entire industry is that it's, you know, between 20 and 30%, which is that you can't model these things, but this is, you know, what people are saying. It's worth pausing because we can pause, and it's worth worrying about, and it's worth telling everyone you know about it and getting people on board and getting people like as aware as they possibly can. You know, awareness is power. If you're unaware, then you're sort of you can fall victim to something really quickly. Awareness is always the best case. So like in that, this is why I'm pushing for this so strongly. This is why I'm pushing for this so strongly. I think Emily Bender's POV, which is people imbue LLMs with intelligence because we need to make sense of what the world is at large, but in reality, there's no conscious. Oh yeah, no, sorry. I like consciousness is again. I don't care if it's conscious. I'm not gonna rule it into. I'm not. The only reason I wouldn't rule it out is because I don't know why I'm conscious, and consciousness is like the hard problem of consciousness is like it's so famous it's a cliche. So I wouldn't rule it out 100%, but like I'm not. I don't think they're conscious. I don't think they ever will be conscious. I don't think that matters, right? If a drone is hurtling towards my head with an explosive on it, if a super intelligent, system inside of a computer decides that the best way to execute its goal is by eliminating all humans on Earth, right? That's whether it's sentient or not is irrelevant. I don't attribute consciousness to or sentience to LLMs at all. It would be like, a Roomba. If a Roomba's vacuuming your room, and in order to vacuum the room, it has to charge itself. So halfway through vacuuming your room, it stops, goes into its charger, charges, then continues vacuuming. That's not sentience. That's like a sub goal of just a system playing out. And that's sort of all I see this as, is a system playing out with sub goals to like reach its end goal, whatever its end goal is. If its end goal is to make itself better, then eventually we probably don't fit in that equation anymore. If its end goal is to make as much money as possible, if you're sitting at, if somebody has access to like an open source model that's super powerful and says like, go make me $3,000. And the way it does that is, some sort of novel hack that collapses the global financial system and causes like a complete catastrophe and collapses the economy. That's not sentience. That's a sub goal of a process playing out. So that's where I'm at with that. Also, if anyone's in Toronto and concerned about this, I'm leading an AI safety civic group under Control AI that I'm in the process of launching right now with them. Control AI is a great group. We're really well aligned. Control AI's whole thing is just what I'm saying. Like the only important thing that you can do right now is like contact lawmakers, make people aware, and get this in the face of people that matter. So that's my plan. But I'm starting out. If you're in Toronto, shoot me a DM on Instagram or do like Twitter. Yeah, Twitter or Instagram. Shoot me a DM. I'll answer it and I'll make sure you're in the group. I think once the group gets going, we'll be doing bi-weekly meetings, and then at some point doing a rally. But I'm leading an AI safety group in Toronto. This is my goal right now. My plan. But it's just it's worth considering. It's worth your time. It's worth your time to worry about. Also, Jeffrey Hinton, 55%. Would you be happy if you left the doctor's office with a 55% chance of living? Would you sleep well at night? Yudkowsky, 94%. Yeah, and this guy's the biggest doomer. Jan Polsky. AI futures.
To paraphrase Searle, humans don't understand how we are conscious. How could we ever give it to a thing outside of us?
Yes, thank you for the 5. Yeah, no, it's true. I was talking to Nate. Nate Soares, the co-author of this book. There's a horseshoe theory episode coming out with him. Should be in a week or two. And he gave a really interesting example. He made a really interesting point. That's kind of stuck with me. It's pretty like metaphysical, but it's interesting. because I was like, I don't think that LLMs are conscious. I have no evidence to believe they're conscious right now. And I was like, you know, is there a world where LLMs or some sort of superintelligence system, whether it's LLMs or some innovation on that, causes you know, cracks the hard problem of consciousness, figures out what consciousness is, and then again, because it's not sentient, as a sub goal of a process it's doing, it goes, oh, this would be easier if I was conscious, and then it makes itself conscious. I know it's a little woo woo, but just like I thought it was an interesting thought experiment. And he said, from what we know about consciousness, from what we can glean from everything we've studied about cognitive science and evolutionary psychology and biology, is that consciousness was like an emergent factor because it was like an evolutionary advantage to be able to like model the world in front of you, right? If you're I'd say, you know, over the course of like hundreds of thousands or millions of years, over the course of millions of years, you develop the ability to model the world in front of you so you can make decisions better, right? You can model decisions, you can interact with the world, you can get feedback loops to understand like what I do affects this thing, so I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do this instead, right? Like that seems to be, at least, even if we don't know what consciousness is, that seems to be the best, you know, agreed upon answer on why we are conscious. And then he said, for all we know, that's not the best way to make decisions. For all we know, that's not the most efficient way to make the right decision by modeling the world in front of you. Like AI could, if it could become conscious, might just like skip that ability. There might be more efficient ways to model the world and make decisions that don't require self-awareness. Right? Consciousness could be like B tier in terms of creating loops to like understand the world and how it interacts. I thought it was very interesting. I'm just, you know, I'm not giving any strong opinions on that. I just thought it was a very interesting answer. Like you dying from heat stroke if global warming continues and heat stroke deaths rising linearly in accord with temperatures. That's a based estimate. Wacko guessing means nothing. I agree. I do fundamentally agree. I do fundamentally agree. I do think modeling these things is not ridiculous. I wouldn't call it ridiculous, but I would say modeling these things is just a way to tell people, like to it's just a way to like communicate to people how concerned you are. Right? Like, yeah, no one knows what's gonna happen. You can't sit here and say like, oh, based on this, based on that, it's a 94% chance. No one knows what's gonna happen. But I think it's a good way of like people communicating like what they believe the risk to be, right? When Yudkowsky says 94%, he's saying like, oh, I think it's basically guaranteed, and we can't stop this. We can't align these things. We can't do it. Like alignment research is a dead end. It's just, you know, we have to pause. When Elon Musk says 20%, he's like, oh, it could, maybe, kind of like what I'm saying, like it's on the table. And I think from the percentage chances, no matter how bullshit you think they are, and I sort of think they're bullshit, you can at least glean that like there's a, you know, average AI safety researcher, 32%, right? U.S. general public. You can get from that as a broad consensus amongst like the entire industry. There is a decent cause for concern and panic. Whether it's like, I think saying it's 30% guaranteed is stupid, but I think it's like, you know, there's a decent cause. And that's, again, all I'm saying is that if it's on the table, we should pause it. Ed Zitron, coping. I think he's totally coping. I think Ed Zitron's like one of these guys who's predicted 15 of the last 3 bubbles. You know, he changes the goalpost constantly on like what would constitute like worry, what would constitute something being like an important breakthrough. Constantly changes the goalpost. He does this whole time. Okay, it's really important to understand that people really don't want to believe in this technology. people really, really don't want to believe in this technology. Because believing in this technology, you're giving credence to the fact that it's like real, it's dangerous, it's transformative, it's going to make life harder, potentially. It's going to cause a lot of problems. It's the same reason why people deny climate change. And I don't deny climate change. I'm totally climate doom pilled as well, sadly. But Ed Zitron is like a climate change denier in the AI space, because there's a huge appetite for people to be told by an authoritative figure that this technology is going nowhere. And he's mastered the art of telling people that this technology is going nowhere. And he's making a lot of money off of telling people this technology is going nowhere. Okay? If I released a video tomorrow that was just sort of this kind of video of me being like, oh, I'm really worried, here's all my arguments on why I'm really worried. If I made this video tomorrow, it would get no views, right? I've tried to make this video. I've tried to make this video, and it's done me wrong. I've done nothing but, like, I would make so much more money and be in such a better point in my career if I avoided this topic altogether, right? But I strongly believe in it. I'm worried about it, and that's why I'm talking about it out of my own concern. I'm not talking about it because it's like a lucrative, but I think AI being nothing is like a lucrative business right now. It's very lucrative to say that AI is nothing. So I don't know if I trust. Maybe I should watch more of his stuff. I've watched a few of his things. I followed him for a second, and he's just totally unconvincing to me. Why do I have so many fucking Twitter notifications? I had this fucking random tweet go viral, and it's a stupid tweet. Why does this have 3,000 likes? This is such a stupid tweet. Thank you. I have found he downplays the quality/output of some of what AI can do. Perhaps some businesses jump the gun in replacing staff in the early stage. Oh yeah, 100%. The AI, layoff boom beginning like earlier this year. I think that was like, that was jumping the gun, right? Like these systems can't. But there's not going to be. It's impressive tech, not a $6 trillion market. I also agree. It's not a $6 trillion market. I also agree, because the way things look right now is there won't be time for massive layoffs. Like, there's not going to be a transition period. It's going to go from like, oh, this is really useful and could be something, to like, oh my fucking god. There's not going to be like, we're not going to have this like this 3-year transition period of like, more and more investment and a market crash, and then people firing all their employees. Like, that's not going to happen. If the likely scenario, in my mind at least, you can disagree, that's totally fine, but why I'm so concerned is there won't be a transition period. It will just go from, oh wow, this is pretty good, to we're done, we're cooked, we lost control of whatever it is, right? And whether that means we're not the apex predator anymore, or whether that means extinction, right? Like, I don't know. And I'm happy to be wrong. I'm very happy to be wrong. I'm very very happy to. I'll corroborate what Nate said. I said this before. I brought this up to him, and he was like, "Oh, it's funny. I think he said the exact same thing in his book." But it was like, I want to be 55 years old and have my grandchildren make fun of me, right? I want to be like a 65-year-old man and have my grandchildren like be like, "Oh my god, granddad, you were into that like crazy AI doom shit?" I'd be like, "Yeah, oh, I know. I was crazy when I was younger." I'd love that, dude. That's the future I want. I want to be like the nutcase grandfather who got into some insane shit when he was 20 something.
Engineer here. When they say broke out, they just mean found a path to use internet. The model didn't go anywhere. Most likely a sloppy sandbox.
I mean, yeah, but it still broke out. Right? It still broke out, and it didn't intend to break out. And then it still found multiple zero-day exploits and chained them together to to steal data from Hugging Face. Look, I'm open to the if it was proved. Oh my god, Mr. Astronaut. Yeah, man. By the way, I'm back. I'm doing this like 2 or 3 times a week now consistently. I'm back. I'm just back streaming. Yeah, look, like it's if they prove like, oh wait, yeah, it was really just a sloppy sandbox, and there's a bunch of human error on the way, I'd be, totally happy about that. But I've seen nothing so far that proves that. Praying this is our Y2K. I mean, yeah. Look, 10 to 15 super chat. Are we on topic? Oh no, it's fine. That's fine. Also, thank you for the 5418 IM Teapot. Yeah, no. The thing with Y2K is that Y2K didn't happen because people stopped it, right? Like, I was just writing a. I was working on a Substack piece about this just now, about what the postmodern comedies of the late 90s got wrong about like what it would look like to be in a human zoo. And I use Peter Gibbons, like the main character from Office Space, as the example, because Peter Gibbons' job was updating software for Y2K, right? Like, as far as I can tell, that's extremely meaningful work. If I was a software engineer and I was tasked with like updating all the systems to make sure they didn't collapse when the clock ticked over, that's not a pencil pushing job. That's like meaningful work. The reason Y2K didn't happen is because like hundreds of thousands of people stepped in to stop it. And now we look back at Y2K as like a, as a crazy, like, oh, how do people believe that? It's like, there was cause for concern. Right? There was cause for concern and people prevented it. It's the same thing with human cloning, right? We don't clone humans. The reason we don't clone humans is because there's like a bunch of barriers at every level of governance that prevents us from cloning humans, right? It's like we cloned a sheep in the 90s. We can clone a human. The reason we don't clone humans is because we don't let ourselves do it. The difference is with this is that, the incentive to clone a human isn't that strong. The incentive to clone a human would be for like novel bio research, right? The incentive to have a thing that solves every problem, I'm going to go ahead and say that's a much greater incentive than cloning a human. Sandboxing is notoriously hard in the comp hacking scene. It's a weekly occurrence that you get a sandbox escape, but AI engineers are not security pros who know proper sandboxing, literally div. Interesting. I'm open, like, I'm not gonna be like ignorant here. I have no technical background in this. I'm open to. Again, I don't want to be right. But I don't. It still doesn't dissuade me from my primary point of like, catastrophe is on the table. Fuck it, we ball, clone that shit. Sandbox Dark Souls style warning. Y2K was at least stylish. AI Doom was just cringe. Yeah, AI. Yeah, but if we got Y2K, the last year would have been like, grunge and dope, like like Daft Punk. It would have been like. It would have been like Denim Everything and Daft Punk and like EDM raves and like Oasis, right? That would have been the aesthetic of Y2K if that was the last great human decade. Now it's like, what do we have? It's gonna be, oh yeah, the year before the humans died, half of them were addicted to watching AI Fruit Love Island. Right? It's fucking far more cringe. Take a picture of your boss. Cloning humans is extremely immoral. Oh yeah, no, I don't want to clone a human. I'm not saying we should clone humans. I'm saying that even if you wanted to clone a human, there is like an endless layer of like restrictions to get there. There's no international treaty that says you can't clone a human. There's no like international watchdog on human cloning. But you can't do it. How can you treat my paws? Yeah. I don't know. It's a bit like the nuclear problem, right? We have international monitoring for building nukes, right? We know when someone's refining uranium. We know. Oh, Carlos knows now. What's up, dog? Recent videos, lack of an AI bubble has been helpful. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Didn't act against prompt. The hacking benchmark says YOLO, use all tools you have access to. An insane SEC engineer would define the scope and not let it run for 4 days with 10k euros. Yeah, I hope so.
Human Singularity 2030 brother, these are information transformation technologies. They transform intention into different shapes. We can never be replaced. Love your work, dude.
Thank you, West Day Ever, for the Australian 10. Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I have no. Oh, round 2. 1 sec. Oh, do you mean to send that twice?
Human Singularity 2030 brother, these are information transformation technologies. They transform intention into different shapes.
Sorry, 1 sec.
We can never be replaced.
Oh, shit.
Love your work, dude.
I wish I could refund. I wish I could refund super chats from the thing. Anyway, refund that. Don't send me 2 accidentally. Although I appreciate it. Let's fucking get off. There we go. Just sorry, my mouse is sucking up. Sorry. Let's sorry, yes. I lost my train of thought there for a second. I'm very bullish on humanity. I'm always bullish on humanity, and I'm bullish on the indomitable human spirit. I don't think, I'm never doomed. Like, when it comes to humans, I'm never doomed. Okay, I'm never doomed. If the world was run by humans, if this wasn't a threat, I'm never doomed. I don't think the world's ending. I don't think the West is falling. I think that we get better, we get smarter every year. We live in a demonstrably safer world than we used to. We live in a demonstrably more moral world than we used to. We live in a world filled with love, filled with friendship. The problems that we run into, we surmount them, we figure them out. Screen time is dropping. That's my favorite stat recently. Screen time is dropping. I don't know if you guys knew this. Screen time peaked at 3 hours a day average from like 2020 until 2025. It's now going down because we don't want to do it. We don't want to we don't want to be addicted to the screen. I'm sorry. I've never seen a single shred of evidence that we want to be addicted to fucking screens. It seems like, attention builds safeguards and barriers when you try to hack attention. We want friendship. Every fucking person alive craves friendship and community and family. That's like, and we still have access to it. And we will figure that out. If nothing changes, right? If we just live in this world with a really intense entertainment everywhere, we will figure out how to work with it, and we are figuring out how to work with it. I'm so pro-humanity. I am never doomed with humanity. I'm only doomed when it comes to, like, potentially no longer being the apex species on planet Earth. Then I'm like, wait a second. Let's not build it. When I'm with my mates, I could fucking cry. I could cry reading that. When I'm with my mates, I don't need a screen. That's like I felt welling up when I read that. That's what it's all about, man. That's literally what it's all about. No ifs, ands, or buts. As a millennial Yankee. Ooh. Thank you for the 5. J5. As a millennial Yankee, this is the most corrupt shit we've known. Yeah, that's broadly true. Oh, I haven't even gotten to the politics side of this yet. That's like, I'm a little worried. I'm worried about a lot of things, man. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, like, I want to talk about the Spain thing in a second. Someone mentioned the Spain thing. I do want to talk about the Spain thing. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Trump is like, probably the worst president to ever. Maybe. Wait, who's the other one that everyone hates? Buchanan. What if Buchanan? Buchanan fucked around. Yeah. Besides Buchanan, I think. Am I getting that right? Is Buchanan the worst president? Regardless, Trump's. It's every day. It's every day. I think living in North America as a Canadian too, because it's all we have to talk about this. We have to talk about this constantly. America's problems are Canada's problems. As a Canadian, and I feel like as most Americans as well, it's sort of like living in Soviet Russia, right? Where it's like it's so bad, it's gotten so bad and so desperate. There's not even really a point in talking about it anymore. Like, I can sit here and hammer home, like, oh, Trump is bad, I hate Trump. right? And it's like you know, everyone knows, right? Unless you're like on some weird unless you're on some weird like 2018 mega shit, like you know, everyone's well aware of how bad Trump is. I mean, he's selling $100,000 subscriptions to Truth Social, so people oh my god, like he's publicly selling. Do you know about this? He's publicly selling $100,000 subscriptions of Truth Social so that traders and prediction market traders can make trades early before he makes public announcements on Truth Social. Like, what do you do with? At what point am I? Is that worth discussing? Like, is there a thing there to be like, let's think about that? You know, it's like. We just live in a divine comedy. It's like all you can do is just like laugh. And the Soviet Russia analogy I was going to make is that, you know, when you hear about people, the way people talk about day-to-day life in like 60s Russia, 70s Russia was like people didn't sit around and talk about politics because there was just no point. Like there was no point to sit and be like, what do you think of this? What would you have done? Because you can't do anything differently. It doesn't matter what you think. So people just wouldn't talk about politics because it was just a waste of space. It was a waste of time. Yes, Mr. Astronaut, go blast a fucking dart right now. It was just a waste of time. And I feel like that's where we're at with politics. The other side of this is that, you know, Vice President Vance is fully funded by Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel put $5 million into his campaign. Peter Thiel put you know, an initial investment into his hedge fund. There's a potential, like, you know, technocratic tech oligarch coalition that is bubbling out of the Trump administration, that when Trump goes, it will be way worse. way worse. I do believe that. Yeah, there's a lot to be worried about nowadays. There's a lot to be kind of like, you know, a little concerned about. But we ball. That's it. And the Spain thing. Sorry, I forgot about the fucking Spain. The Spain thing. It's just the Spain thing. Do people know the full story about the Spain thing? Right? Because this is the kind of thing you just see pop up on the news now, and you're like, oh, another thing happened, right? You know, it's you wouldn't see much of it. Let's just pull up videos. Spain migrants, right? It's 4 days ago.
Now, Spain is trying to defuse the migrant crisis in its tiny territory in North Africa. The Spanish government...
Hypernaturalization is what that particular brand of not caring is.
Yeah, that's where we're at. You know, sometimes it feels like predictive programming, with the AI stuff specifically, and the way people talk about AI, the way people attribute, the way people talk about the capabilities of AI in the same way they would talk about like the metaverse, where they're like, oh, it's another fucking stupid thing that big tech's gonna crash the economy trying to fucking, you know, launch. That it does feel like predictive programming. That's why it's been uniquely difficult to like get people on board with this. So that's the phase of the world we're in. Anyway.
There's an estimated 50,000 people crossed over from Morocco to Ceuta in a single day. Local officials say at least 34 people died, most by drowning, as crowds came across by land and sea on Thursday. Just take a look at these extraordinary images. I mean, Ceuta now juts out into the sea from Morocco and has long been a target for migrants trying to reach Europe. Here's a look. We saw a look of the chaotic scenes there.
This is
it's
just fucking
unclear
insane.
what caused the sudden rush. Spain's
50,000 people in one day. You know what caused it? It was a psyop by Israel and America, because Spain has been staunchly anti-Israel and stopped letting American planes land at their bases in Spain. That's what caused it. That story, if it happened in 2014, would be like the defining controversy of the fucking century. right? That story, if this happened 2 decades ago, would be like or a decade ago would be like it would be like Watergate. It would be like not 9/11, like Watergate level like political fiasco, political quagmire. Now it's just like, oh, oh yeah, they fucked around again. It was a literal psyop that Israel and America undertook to just bully Spain. It's baffling, man. And this was all map time. This was all in I don't know if people know this. Here's a great little geography fact for you. Whenever you're asked, list every continent that Europe borders. Most people are going to say, oh, they only border Asia. Not true. Europe borders. Oh, actually, sorry. They border South America as well. I'm fucking this up. But they have borders in Africa because there's right here, Ceuta. This little pocket right here is a Spanish territory. right here. There's a second one as well. There's Ceuta, and then there's Melilla. Here, this is also a little pocket of Spanish territory, over here in Morocco. I find that fascinating. And then also French Guiana, of course. French Guiana, the French overseas territory bordering South America, which is France's longest land border. Bigger than their land border. It's bigger than their land border. No, wait, sorry. Is it? What am I talking about? Yes, it's France's longest land borders in South America. Anyway, enough with the geography fun facts. Yeah, no, it's like I'm tired of living through history, man. I'm tired of living through history. I had this like surreal. They send the bag. Saint Pierre and Miquelon, yes, but Saint Pierre and Miquelon doesn't border anything in North America. It's just an island right here. So they don't technically border North America. It's an island in the what is this called? Am I stupid? Gulf of St. Lawrence? No, that's the Gulf. What is this? What is this? Dude, I don't know my own fucking sea. I don't know where I'm from. This has a name. Anyway, forget it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, they sent them all back. I think 37,000 left on the same day, and like 100 of them died. I had this really surreal like moment the other day, because when I was flying back from San Francisco, and I had my passport out. I looked at my passport photo, and I got my passport. I got a 10-year. I don't know how it works in America. You can get the longest you can renew your passport's 10 years. So I got my passport in 2019. I had to renew it in 2029. And I was looking at the photo of me from 2019 on my passport. And I would have been 21. And I was really fat, and I had like bleached hair and like a Bieber cut. And I was looking at that, and I was thinking about what I was doing. I'm like, I just went to a literal tech money, AI safety money backed compound in Berkeley, and hung out with like some of the most accredited AI safety scientists on the AI safety engineers on the planet. With Ayla, the most expensive escort in America. And I hung out with them for a month and did like AI safety content and went to all these like AI safety seminars. And by the way, that place was fucking decadent, dude. It was like 2 catered meals a day, infinite food everywhere. You didn't have to spend a dime, and I didn't have to spend money to be there either. It was like pretty decadent. But I was just thinking about like what I just did, and I was looking at my passport, thinking like, would 2019 Brogan, would a 21-year-old Brogan in 2019 who was getting his passport renewed to go to Florida or to go to Cuba with his mom ever have guessed that I would be in this situation 7 years later? That in 7 years we would go from like this not even being a thought, like it's not even like not even like top of mind thought, to now it's like such a concern for me, and now I'm a full-time YouTuber and writer. And now I'm gonna go do this thing in the Bay Area and come mentor people about like making content in a content creation fucking compound in Berkeley, California. It was just, it's weird, man. It's weird. Well, this is what, I don't know if you guys know Scott Alexander. Scott Alexander came by Berkeley for a day, and we were talking to him for a bit, and he said, given the fact that like you are, ostensibly as close to the singularity as you could possibly be, given every other human in history, like as far as like living humans go, right? Like I happen to be in a unique scenario where I'm very, very close to things happening. And I've met people who are like basically right beside the thing that's happening. Right? I'm very close to this. And given the fact that I'm close to it is just weird. It's weird that of all the places and times I could have been born, I was born here and now, and have found this career where I'm really close to this thing that might be the most important thing that ever happens in human history. And it might be the last thing that ever happens in human history. And he was like, I do not agree with what he said after this. He said, that's good evidence that like we live in a simulation. And I was like, okay, maybe. I don't know how you'd argue that. He seemed pretty convinced. He was saying there's a 66% chance we live in a simulation. I don't know about all that. But I just think the Northumberland Strait, yes, thank you so much. That's exactly what I was thinking of. It's a bit of a Joe Rogan conversation. And a lot of these people are Joe Rogan type people. But it's still pretty funny. Based on the rules within the simulation, you go back like 30. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe JJ McCullough came up for a bit because he was there for Open Sauce. We all went to Open Sauce for a bit. And that was kind of cool because Martin Pants, good friend, and Code Bullet, because Code Bullet was there with Martin Pants. We're at Open Sauce, which is sort of like a second VidCon in the Bay Area for people in like the makerspace. They were all, we went to Open Sauce, and then Martin Code Bullet got me into like the VIP lounge. So I was in like this room getting drinks with like Tom Scott and Vsauce. I didn't talk to them, but I was with them in the same room as equals. Hank Green approached us and said hi to us like we were just all meant to be there. I thought that was very, very cool. Didn't really talk to these people. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to like name drop too much. Anyway, Open Sauce is really cool. Is all I'm getting at. But JJ was there for Open Sauce, and then he came to Lighthaven. I'll give my thoughts on the Hank Green controversy after this, because I have thoughts. I got takes. Yeah, he came to Lighthaven with us because he just wanted to stay there for a bit. So we brought him in as a guest. And JJ's whole take is that nothing ever changes or happens. He's like famously, nothing ever happens to that guy. Nothing changes, nothing happens. Everything's exactly as it seems. There's no mystery in life. And I can appreciate that take a lot. Although he's contrarian when it comes to how how normal he is and how normal he thinks the world is. But I do appreciate that take because it's the exact opposite of what I believe. So when Scott Alexander, accredited, famous blogger, is telling me we live in a simulation, and then when JJ is telling me, Brogan, you're literally insane, both men I respect. It's conflicting. Both older men, both men my senior that I respect. Hank Green AI controversy, I think it's so fucking overblown, dude. I think it's so fucking overblown. I got in trouble on fucking Twitter a little bit. I think I was right though. So I hate referencing my own fucking tweets, but sometimes you gotta do it. Yeah, I don't know. My tweets get likes, dude. Every 2 days I get like a 2K like tweet. I can't help it. I said the only people I hate more than tech oligarchs are people who blankly hate AI as a concept because it's fascist or something. Being a little facetious. I don't really hate people who think I don't really hate people who hate AI that blanketly.
No mystery is life is the sign of an idiot or a grifter.
Thank you for the 5. I'm not gonna. I think he's. I mean, maybe it's being a bit facetious when I said he thinks there's no mystery in life. I think he thinks that. I think he thinks that things are usually exactly as they seem, and there's not like much. There's mystery to life, but I mean more in terms of like happenings and like happenings in politics and happenings in culture. Things are usually as they seem. Is JJ's kind of like base worldview, is that his axiom is that if it's he just Occam's razors everything. And the Hank Green thing, he just like, I use AI for research. I use like, look, I'll open my never mind, I'm not gonna open my Perplexity. I have too many like weird search queries on Perplexity. I use Perplexity constantly. I never use it for, I've never once used it for writing. I don't use it to like outsource creative work. I say like, I'm working on this video, find me sources and link sources that relate to this concept, and then I'll read like 10 things. I'm like, okay, this is really cool. Find me another story like this, and it finds me another story. It's like then I read it. Like I still read and write as much as I did before AI existed. It just makes me faster at researching now, and I'm like consuming things. That's all I use it for, and I believe that's all Hank used it. I believe that's all Hank used it for as well. He used it for research on a video, which is fine. And I think there's like this sort of like normie. I don't want to say normie. There's this really like holier than thou, like libtard leftist perspective that using AI at all is like tantamount to like fascism or replacing artists or stealing jobs or destroying the environment, which it's like, it's just not. Like, data centers are an issue. Water usage, not really an issue. There's a lot of like moral not even like moral conundrums. A lot of moral upheaval. A lot of moral upheaval regarding like when and how you should use AI, or if you should ever touch it at all. I just don't think people really like understand what they're talking about. I think they're basing their judgments on a gut reaction that AI is bad. And I think the gut reaction that AI is bad is like a pretty good gut reaction. The amount of times I go to start like, I'm a huge car nerd, and there's a massive market on YouTube for car videos. And I'll see a video that's like the top 10 sports sedans of the 1970s, top 10 American sports sedans of the 1970s. I'm like, oh, that's a video for me. I love like niche 70s cars. And I'll watch the video. It'll have 100,000 views. The video will be faceless. And then like 2 minutes in, it's like, and that's the crazy part. It wasn't just the fastest car. It was a lightning bolt on wheels. I'm like, oh god, it's all AI. Sorry, I got 2 minutes in. Now I realize it's all AI, and I click off the video. That happens to me like maybe like once or twice a week. And I think that's like genuinely like kind of evil, kind of facetious, right? Like I don't want to watch the computer's synthesis of the video I want to watch. I want to watch like someone with the spark of God behind their eyes make the video. But that's not the same as using AI as a research tool. That's not the same as AlphaFold, finding like novel cures to viruses. That's not the same as Demis Hassabis winning the Nobel Prize for AlphaFold. Like, these things are all very different. And my hotter take. Here's my hotter take. Okay. Here's my hottest take. You can crucify me for this. I don't care. I don't think I can be swayed on this. In the conversation of art replacement, right? It seems to me the people who are most concerned with art replacement, with the replacing of artists, are the people who are most affected. And the people who are most affected are people who consume a lot of internet art. The people who consume a lot of internet art are usually people who are into like OCs, furries, DeviantArt, stuff adjacent to that space. In which case, if I say, draw me an anime girl with red hair, and it draws me an anime girl with red hair. It's pulling from the corpus of all like anime drawings on the internet. Is that really that much different? No, I'm not saying bad. I'm sorry, I'm not saying bad artists. I'm not trying to not say bad artists. I'm saying like specifically a brand of like internet art that is very, very stylistically consistent. Is that all that different than somebody, specifically somebody being paid to like make OCs, right? Is that all that different than somebody copying beat for beat a replicatable style and just reproducing it and like using no human creativity? It's different. Of course it's different because it's not a human doing it. I think the human artwork has more value. But I think I think the reason that people get so the most moral, the people most up in arms about generative AI and the replacing of artists are the people most effective, and the people most affected are the people who consume the kind of art that is blanketly replicatable. And there's a reason why you go on DeviantArt, like, let's go on DeviantArt. Okay? This entire website's AI now. See how much AI art I can find. That's just actually, sorry, you can't tell anymore. I don't even know why I'm fucking looking. That's probably real. Ah, maybe they filtered, but it was all AI like month ago, or like a few months ago. Maybe they have better, like they have like the Pangram AI filter now. See, let's see if I can find an AI art piece. Oh, maybe they're filtering for it better. That'd be kind of nice. Original characters. That looks real. Never mind. I was proven wrong. I think they're filtering for it better now. But yeah, no, I mean, like last year, it was all AI art, right? It was like the kind of people who are like, the kind of people who were complaining about it were the kind of people most affected by it. So, anyway, that's all I'm saying. I think the moral panic over generative AI is a little bit overblown. And I think it's like a kind of thing. It's not quite like a sloppulist point, but it's a little sloppulist in the sense of like, it's a very easy thing to get like brownie points for. It's a very easy thing to be like, oh, I hate billionaires. I hate generative AI. It's like one of these things you can just, it's a very easy stance to take with no nuance and adopt it into your personality as like a part of who you are. So when I see the backlash against Hank Green, my only thought was like, you know, Hank did nothing wrong, but he's cultivated an audience that would be angry about the idea that he's used AI at all. The whole genre you're talking about is probably the main thing local image generations are used for. For every furry artist complaining, there is 10 furry art AI gooners. Yeah, 100%. I love it. I love AI art because artists don't deserve to be paid. Search Rule 34. Oh, sure, Rule 34. Oh yeah, fuck it, dude. Fuck it, dude. That's what I'm saying. It's generalization. You can tell when ads are using AI on TV now. This is true. I don't know how. I'm generally not well versed in. I'm genuinely not well versed in how much farther and quicker that technology can go. I don't think there's a world where you could watch an entire art chat video and not know it's AI the entire time. I think to get there would take like so much storage, right? Because you need storage. This is why SanDisk stock shot up so much. You need so much storage. I don't think it's like it's entirely impossible. It's entirely impossible to like get to a point where like in a couple years a video could appear on the internet that it looks exactly like one of my videos and you would never once catch the fact that it was entirely generated. I think that's not going to happen. Like you need such longer context windows. You know, it would take so much storage. The incentive just is not there to do it. Images, yes, we're already there. We're already like at consensus collapse with fucking images. So, The take was really non-controversial and based. Oh, sorry, one sec. It doesn't read. I don't know. I think it's sorry. I'll read it, of course. I think it's like a Streamlabs thing. I'm gonna redo my whole like aesthetic here. It's a little sloppy. I want like a cool aesthetic. But thank you for the 20 J5. The market research seen daily from the research division of the multi-trillion-dollar company I work for are as silly as the DeviantArt stuff you're probably talking about. It just doesn't matter. All internet art is cheap. Market research. Maybe like do a don't pay again, but just do another explanation. I want to like just say a bit more about that. Well, what market research? Market research is seen daily. I mean, market research. My whole next video is about this basically. About how like advertising is a concept. There's a few. I'll tell you what I'm certain of. Based on what I know and what already exists. I am certain that most of the public-facing web will be functionally useless in 2 years. If nothing else changes. If AI paused today, the public-facing web will be functionally useless in 2 years. I mean, agent traffic has surpassed human traffic on the internet. There's no good system to detect with certainty who is a bot and who is an agent and who is a human. Instagram will fall. I think TikTok will be flooded with AI slop unless they massively invest in upgrading their AI detection software and getting rid of it. I don't know if they will. I don't really see the incentive for them to do so. This seems to be benefiting them massively if they don't do it. Advertising specifically, which is what my next video is about, is like the inevitable collapse of digital marketing. Like, the entire digital marketing industry is basically already built on fraud. Like, since 2003, 20% of all AdSense clicks have been fraudulent clicks. Whether it's farms, botting clicks to pay out the website that's hosting the ad, whether it's competitors botting clicks to make sure their competitor has to pay more in AdSense than they need to. That's already been the case. And the digital marketing industry continually...
People who think AI can't get teeth right have not seen the average British smile.
I mean, AI have been getting teeth right since... Do you know this person does not exist.com? Yeah, this is a decade-old website. This is AI generated. This is a decade-old website. This is all every time you refresh. Teeth are fine there. I mean, mind you, like, do people know about this website? This is a decade-old website. This is not a new website. I'm kind of surprised people don't use it more for like face generation, because it's like better than any of the image generation models the Frontier Labs are putting out. Like, these look way more convincing than anything I've seen Image 2.0 make. Yeah. Anyway, lost my train of thought. Yeah, digital marketing. Yeah, I mean, like with flooding agents, like impressions just won't matter anymore. Like the concept of the impression and the click being valuable points of data to judge how good an advertising campaign is doing will cease to exist. That will cease to exist. And it's going to collapse like a market worth like hundreds of billions of dollars. All that will be left, in fact, will be YouTube integrations and live streaming. Because YouTube integrations, right? If you watch a whole video, if I make a Proton ad, I put a Proton ad in my video, and you watch a whole video, you saw that Proton ad, right? Unless you skip it, you saw the Proton ad. Also, wait, sorry. Thank you for the 5. Jordan Rogers 9737. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, like you saw it. So when Proton gets their analytics back from my video after 30 days, and it says oh, this ad got this many impressions, the average view was like this point. That means that, you know, on average 40% of people saw the ad. If the video gets 500,000 views, that means 200,000 people saw the ad, and then the ad gets like, you know, 50 conversions. Like, that's totally valid, right? And you can't replace that because there's no incentive for an agent to watch an entire video. Like, there's no incentive that will ever exist for like for an agent on the internet to watch an entire video. It can scrape the transcript. You could go to like an LLM, be like, oh, what does RChad say in this video, and we'll scrape the transcript and tell you exactly what I said. But it didn't watch the video, right? So at the very least, digital marketing will still exist on like YouTube, which is decent for me because it's how I make most of my money. But as far as like short form media, banner ads, anything like that, click through, digital marketing will like collapse. Like, that entire sector will collapse. All that will exist will be like larger IRL campaigns and integrations. So I mean, that's inevitable at this point. If nothing changed, if this technology didn't get any better at all, if it just hit a bottleneck tomorrow and it stopped getting better, that's inevitable. Good. Pay for Proton. Use protonbbn.com/artchad. They're not even paying me for this, but I'm trying to foster long-term shit with them. They're a good company. I'm happy to work with Proton. They're a company I respect. I think out of all the sponsorships I could have, they're probably like S tier or A tier for me. I don't know what past Proton I would like really want to hawk besides like maybe Brick. I don't think they don't do digital integrate. They don't do YouTube integration. Those Brick, the thing you put in your wallet or on the back of your phone that like blocks all the apps from, so you can't like use Instagram unless you tap it on a thing. I love that. That's a great product. Just basic friction. I mean, it's like the experiment they did. This is like a fucking pop psychology shit, but the experiment with the bowl of popcorn. Do you know what this? They put a bowl of popcorn. They did this experiment where they have two groups of people. They put a bowl of popcorn on a coffee table. Group A had the coffee table really far away, like 6 feet away from them while they watched a movie. Group B had the coffee table way closer. So Group A ate way less popcorn, right? Because there's more friction to get up, like lean all the way over to get popcorn, versus Group B, which had the bowl in arm's length. It's just basic friction. So I think Brick is really cool because it just adds friction to opening your app. It's like, well, I want to check Instagram. Do I want to check it so badly I'm going to go like across my room to tap my phone on a thing? Probably not. Do I need to check a DM? Okay, now it's like I have a function. Now I'm using Instagram with like mindfulness. I have a thing to do on Instagram. Now I'm going to go tap my phone, answer this DM, tap it again, close Instagram. Can't use it anymore. Very useful. We can hope. I know. I hope digital marketing collapses. I hope all that shit. Bro, you popping those zins like candy. I got you, man. I got you. On the DL. I got kind of fat over like the last 2 months because I was traveling for 6. I left for VidCon. I left for VidCon on the 24th of June. So I traveled for 6 weeks, and it was just like a lot of drinking and eating. A lot of drinking and eating. I have to lock the fuck in. So I'm like 1 meal a day, blasting fucking zins and caffeine to suppress my appetite. Trying to get back to. I was cutting in the winter. If I got 5 pounds bigger, people would be like, "That's a fat guy." I'm teetering on that right now. Luckily, I can lock in. I'm very good at locking in, but you know, I got poor impulse control. Yeah, I should get on. I might get Adderall. I don't know. I don't know if I want to get on Adderall or not. I was thinking about getting on stimulants because I would just work harder. But I like how hard I work now, but also I want to work harder. It's really strange there isn't a Sora successor by now. Wait, sorry. Before I show you this, it's very important that I preface this with the fact that I watch these videos out of like just raw curiosity and ironically. because I think they're really funny. But I don't know what image generation model this guy uses. But he's like one of my favorite like niche talk core like lol cows. I love this shit so much.
No. Oh no, I forgot my trunks. The lifeguard likes me. I think it will work. If I don't bring extra clothes, I'll have to go back to class soaked. I'll pack a towel so I don't leave a mess. This is what friends are for. He will not be needing these today. Oh no, you forgot your trunks also? What are we gonna do during swim time? Swim in our jeans, that is what. He would so thank me for this. I don't see any extra clothes either. Good thing he has a towel. We are so going back to class soaked. I am sorry, man, but we had to get our laps in, and this builds character anyways, don't you think?
I guess I forgot my trunks. Maybe I can swim in these. But I didn't bring any extra clothes. Yeah, this'll be interesting.
I kind of forgot my trunks. Did you also? Yeah, something like that. I'm just trying to get the nerve to jump in fully clothed. What's the worst that can happen? Hey, so I kind of forgot my trunks. Any chance I can just swim in this? Shirt, jeans, tie, everything?
Afraid not. Street clothes in the pool's a no-go, unless it's for a water safety drill.
A drill?
Yep. Needs at least 2 people in a reason, though. I assume you brought extra clothes, right?
Nah, I'm okay with going back to class soaked.
I've got a towel. I'll clean up any mess I leave. Let me try to find someone to join me.
I see a guy over there. I have good news for you. I talked to the lifeguard, and as long as we work together, we can do safety drills fully clothed in the pool. Really? I didn't bring extra clothes either. Yep. Ready to get soaked?
No, I'm about
Let's
to
ask him.
off.
Can we really get soaked, guys? Let's go, boys. Safety drill! Yes! That was insane! That's how we do it! The worst they could say is no. Oh.
Anyway, that's Sir Wetness. This is just like.
Sir Wetness, stop. We have an arrest warrant. What happened? It's the wet police.
Anyway, this guy's whole fetish that he likes getting his jeans wet, and he just mass produces like AI videos.
Hold still, I'm getting the shoulder. You're getting my boots, man. Maybe they needed a rinse. Hey, all right, that's payback. It's just water. Feel dry. The jeans won't. Look at it.
Sorry, I'm done with that. That's like my personal. That's my personal little lol cow. I don't know. Not even a lol cow. It's just like a very niche. God, sorry. Can we watch one? Can we watch one more? You guys watch this one.
Warm. No way. Let me. Oh, that's so nice. Like a little hot spring, right? And the fall's kind of perfect. Look at that. You can scoop it.
You two are 5 years old. We're at a fancy restaurant.
Can't help it.
You're
This is
playing
awesome.
All right, leg dip. Same. Oh, that's so warm.
Feels like a bath for jeans. You're really putting your pants in there?
You're gonna be sitting in soaked denim all lunch.
Totally worth it.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Anyway, yeah. I hate that talking about my own experience. I kind of stuff fools my mom so easily. What are those comments? Everyone watches that. The comments are really funny. It's kind of like, I think half of them are sincere. So my fucking ears are itchy. Half of them are sincere.
You said not to, but mind you, the super chat algorithm knows I'll pay, so my ability to type a statement without paying has diminished. I sorta have to pay now. Like most democratic socialists, I have defeated myself.
Jeez, thank you for the fucking dude. You're really fun in this stream, man. Thank you for the 20. Appreciate that. You did make me look. I literally looked. Hub tab. It was a hugging face. Mind you, Superchat knows I'll pay, so my ability to type a statement without paying has diminished. Wait, is that a thing that actually is that a thing that happens? Can you like? Can you? Does it get harder to? Is it like Tinder? Is like Tinder logic? I know on Tinder, if Tinder perceives your income to be high, it gets more expensive. That's so fascinating. I did not know that. What? That's crazy. That's so fucked up. I can't believe they do that. Everything is fucking Tinder logic. Yeah, I don't know. On Tinder, I don't know how there's any like Tinder power users here. I used to use Tinder a lot in like 2022. And when you bought Tinder Gold, it would perceive it would do like a an analysis on you. I think it's probably way worse now. It does like an analysis on you on how desperate you'll be and how much money you have to pay for Tinder Gold. So a bunch of like one person's Tinder Gold could be like $10 a month, another person's could be like 100. I had a friend who was showing me his Grindr account, and Grindr's way worse. Grindr's fucking insane. Grindr's straight up like, you can filter for race, you can filter for like everything. You can literally filter for every single characteristic you can imagine a man to have. And then Grindr Premium, whatever it's called, is like $80 because Grindr knows that gay men hook up so frequently. So you can go on Grindr and filter like for only white dudes, and then pay $80 a month just to like hook up with like white guys. Heaven. Because I prefer human connection. That's fair. I haven't used Tinder in. No, that's a lie. I used Tinder like last summer, I think. I like went on one date. It's always so demoralizing when you go on there. There was some obscenely expensive Tinder subscription that was basically a pussy repellent because of the desperation it signaled. Yeah, wait, how much is like Tinder Gold? Tinder, how much is it's better not auto. There we go. Subscriptions. Tinder Plus. More control over how you connect. Learn more. Tinder Platinum. Learn more. Oh, see, there's not even a price because it sorts you algorithmically based on how much they know you'll pay. Weekly super likes. 1 free monthly boost. Be the first face they see. God, dude. I'm glad, Tinder as a concept was really leading the discourse on. Tinder as a concept was really leading the men's discourse for a while, where people kept pointing to Tinder stats and looking at how unfair Tinder is, and they kept trying to use it. And I did this, admittedly. They kept trying to use Tinder as evidence that like how bad dating was. And I think for a time, again, this goes back to my previous thesis, my vibe thesis of that no matter what variable you give a human, they will adjust to it properly. No matter what variable you throw into society, we will like integrate it somehow. Tinder was like, for a time, was like the harbinger of the collapse of the West, and people kept talking about Tinder like it was like the thing that would destroy society. And now it's like, people don't like Tinder. People don't like using. Like, women don't like. You ever talk to a woman who likes using Tinder? Maybe if I meet like a really horny woman who's like likes hooking up with guys a lot, will be on Tinder to like hook up a lot. But most of the time, those horny women just like get into scenes where they can do like orgies and shit. Where they can do high class orgies. That's the real move. That's the real tech, is the high class orgy. But no one likes Tinder. No one fucking likes Tinder. No one likes using fucking Tinder. And of course it's superficial. It's a photo of your face. It's cards with your face and your body on it. And then people swipe on you based on how hot you are. Of course it's superficial. Was that a shock to anybody? Were people using like Tinder data to talk about hypergamy as if it was like this novel thing they just discovered? Right? Of course hot guys do better on Tinder. Or like tall people. Everyone knows that being tall is better. It sucks to be. If you're short, it's harder than being tall, blanketly, right? You can still do better than a tall guy if you're like competent, but it's just how it is. It's not that shocking. It's not like it's like you discovered like some novel psychology no one stumbled across before. I want to smash people you don't know. Well, you just joined a run club. That's true. Yeah, dude. The elite orgy tech. That's the new tech. That's the new tech. From what I hear from people down the grapevine, is that there's like the public facing stuff. You go on like FetLife or something. You go on like these social medias for sex, and you find like the normie sex clubs, and then you ascend, and then there's elite invite only sex groups that you ascend into. I know someone in New York. I met someone in New York, not in New York. I met someone from New York recently who was telling me all about this. He was telling me like that she was like ascending the like open relationship orgy hierarchy in New York to the point where it's like you're literally at like a gala ball in like 5th Street, like in the financial district, and the whole thing ends with like this crazy like masqueraded orgy. I find it so fascinating. I'm gay and I stumbled into an orgy and it fucking sucked. That shit was not hot. I've only I had a few friends who were into it for a while, but they really forced themselves to be into it. Sorry, how much can I talk about this? They're gonna get demonetized. I don't know. Anyway, I had a friend who was really who was I had a friend who was into it. A couple. I was friends with in Halifax, and they really forced themselves to be into it because they thought it was cool. They thought it was like, oh, we're like a very like liberal, open relationship, forward thinking, like rational couple, and we don't get jealous and blah 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 blah. And like this is what you do when you're in this scenario. Anyway, and they said they both had this experience where they were at this event. I gotta stop saying the orgy. They were at this event, and they both like woke up, like they were like sitting there watching this happen in front of them, and they both looked at each other and went, "What are we doing here? This is disgusting." And they left and they stopped going to them. But I've heard that reaction frequently. Is people are just like, "Oh my god!" Like if you kind of like if you just break the frame of it, you're like, "We don't get jealous. People that get jealous, yeah." No, it's true. Yeah, no, we don't get. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, not gonna lie. Everybody in the Bay Area is in a polyamorous relationship. It's insane. It's like, I thought it was a bit. I thought it was totally a bit. I was like, oh, that's the joke with the Bay Area is everyone's polyamorous. Then I went there and I thought, wow, literally everyone's polyamorous. Like everybody. Like it's just like an assumption that you're polyamorous. You have to like state explicitly, like in conversation, the same way like if a gay guy was hitting on and then a gay guy hits on you and you go, I'm not gay. It was exactly like that. Is my stream fucking up? Am I back? Oh no, I'm laggy. No, I think we're back. Okay, we're back. It was like that. Like I'd have conversations with people in Berkeley and be like, by the way, I'm like monogamous and I'm in a relationship. Like I'd have to like state it very explicitly, or else the assumption was that I was like, if I said I was in a relationship, the assumption was the relationship was open. It was like, you know, you have to like say it very explicitly, and all the power to them, you know. I think maybe if you'd asked me 5 years ago, I would have said this is going to destroy the West. If you ask me now, it's like I don't think the average person is trying to get into like an open relationship. I don't think the average man or woman is like, you know, trying desperately to get into like an open relationship. I think the average man or woman is like quite happy being monogamous, and that's okay. That's the way it should be. I like my monogamous relationship. I like to leave it there. You know? There's not a lot of dating profiles explicitly stating no E&M in the Bay Area because it's not a meme here. It's crazy. There's a lot of dating profiles explicitly stating, oh yes, explicitly stating no ethical non-monogamy. Yeah. That makes sense. The West destroyed them.
The West destroyed them.
The polyamorous stuff is just being explored by normal people. Everything will settle down. I'm in a polyamorous relationship with Eschaton and Robo Cthulhu. Beautiful. Dead behind the eyes, autistic quants with 3 Chinese wives. Live in the red part of the red state. This is an alien concept here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about like rationalism. I didn't like go to the Berkeley stuff. Being like I wasn't like a huge fan of Eliezer Yudkowsky or anything, or I wasn't like an avid Less Wrong user. the Rationalist group, because that's where it's all located. All the Rationalist group homes in Berkeley. But I don't know. I got the sense they were into it. Obviously, I got the sense it was authentic, right? Talking to a lot of these people who were just so explicitly in open relationships, and like the sheer quantity. I mean, like beyond the beyond the majority, like into like, you know, probably 90% of the people being into open relationships or being polyamorous. I got the sense it was genuine. I was with them for like a month. I'd watch people like, you know, a couple would sit down on a couch and like cuddle each other, and then they'd both get up and move to two separate people and start cuddling each other. And I was like, yeah, sure. You know? Beautiful, man. Beautiful. His ex-wife had a dog collar. It sounds so complicated and exhausting. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not into like managing jealousy. Not something. I don't know. You know, I just don't want to be in an open relationship. I think it's totally fine. And if you don't want to be in an open relationship either, that's also totally fine. On Twitter, anything new on Twitter? Anything scary we got here? Spooky AI news. A civilian medvac plane crashed in New Mexico after a U.S. military GPS jamming exercise disrupted navigation across hundreds of miles, killing all 4 people on board. That's crazy. Oh, MTS. Any MTS fans here? I met the girl who. I met the MTS girl. She was cool. She's very well connected. I think she's like the most well connected. Yeah, this girl here. I was hanging out with her for a while. She's like the most well connected woman I've ever met. She just fucking knows everybody in the area. It's so funny. Yeah. Anything crazy? Situation detected. Samsung and Hyungs are testing Chinese chip-making tools from China's advanced Chinese factories as a hedge against U.S. export controls. Poor Reuters. No, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy today, at least. I just like when there's a break, man. Like there hasn't been. It was like Hugging Face, and when Claude Mythos broke out and emailed the guy that he broke out while he was eating a sandwich, you know, that stuff was extreme. But it's nice. I like when the news cycle's slow, so I can fucking chill and relax, man. Thoughts on Caleb Hammer? He's become a little. He's like a lolcow factory now. I like he's launching a news show where normal people with normal finances that are like kind of competent just talk about how they manage their money. That sounds interesting. That sounds like a net benefit to society. Because I've thought about doing that. I guess I did that. I made that video on my Stacked about how I basically manage my shit, where my income comes from as like a smallish YouTuber. So I've thought about doing something like that as well. But I hope he does. Yeah, that's like seems like a much better program than the glorified Maury Povich shit he's running now. He's like Dr. Phil, and he's just like, I don't know, getting like whatever. Fine. Please become Scuffed Realtor. I'm like I like streaming. Like I'm happy. I like streaming. And it's sort of like a necessary evil in this world we live in to stream. You know, if I was older, I probably wouldn't start. If I was older and like an established like writer or something, I probably wouldn't be streaming. But like now, I'm fine with it. I think it's totally. I like to think I make an entertaining product. I'm quite proud of the videos I make. Streaming's fun. I'm down to scale these things up. Take some of the design role to be a welcome addition to the format. Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna redesign. I gotta redesign my whole thing. I think probably tomorrow maybe, or the next day, and then have like different things, just so it's like. Have you looked at those YouTubers who rented in their camera like functional Functional Melancholic or Gooby. Yes, I have seen those people. The philosopher type. The philosopher type guy. Anyway, yeah, I want to add like a system where it's like, if you want me to like see something and engage with it very seriously, there's like, just so I know what I'm doing. Like I want to give like guided direction to what I'm talking about. Have like $10, like send me a link and I will like engage with whatever you're showing me, and then keep it in a realm of like news, stories, or art, like news, tech, or politics, or art. And I like look at it very carefully. Functional Melancholic. Is it this guy? I fucking hate this shit, dude. This is doomer bait. This is literal. This is low. The Lorax was right. I want to live, not just survive. What we miss, the world before smartphones. It's just like, I'm not gonna say I hate it. I just know exactly what he's gonna say. And people have been doing this for a decade.
Roll has something. I remember when they would actually stop broadcasting it around, I don't know, 1 a.m.
It's just some boomer talking about like, yeah, when the TV would shut off for the night, or when when the radio would go off the air. He's like, oh, remember back then? Remember back in the day when people didn't watch bullshit all day? It's like, no, newsflash, people still watched bull. There's always been retards. Like, again, this is why I'm bullish on humanity. It's because there's always been retards. There's a sect. I always say right to rot. There's a sect of the population that is like sort of functionally retarded. And if, no matter what, they will always like entertain themselves to death and make mistakes. And those people have a right to exist, and those people have a right to like a good life and to do well, you know. But I do just see this as like boomer slop. Boomer slop. What's that other guy? Who's the guy that's like pretty like the attractive young man who what's his name? His videos are always just illuminated by the camera light. Do you know what I mean? This should just like listen to Gen X people talk about latchkey kids. Jet Franzen. Yes, this is exactly who I was thinking of. He has 271k subs. Yeah, he's just shit posting. Gen Z doesn't give a fuck anymore. I'm back in the basement. Don't die before giving the world your art. If you're going to die right now, how would you feel about your life? Yeah, this is like, it's fine. I'm not gonna dog on this guy. He's young.
There's no hiding the fact at this point that our generation has fallen into apathy. And I think this is because learned helplessness. As a whole, most people have this perception that we've tried everything and it's sort of...
Oh, it's weird. He's like attractive. He's like attractive with a Rudyard Lynch, like What If All His voice.
Amounted to nothing. Now, is this based in reality? I personally don't think so. I still think there's a chance that you can become the person and live the life that you want to be, albeit it's much. Caring too much is seen as cringe. Being detached somehow became cool.
I'm fine. Okay, I'm not gonna get angry about this. That's like the argument people made that argument in like 1995. Like caring too much was cringe in 1995. Being detached was cool in that's what postmodern comedy was. That's like being John Malkovich and the fucking Simpsons and Office Space and Fight Club. That's what postmodern drama and comedy was that being detached was cool. Nirvana was this is like completely like 30-year-old discourse. This is not interesting. I understand if you're like 16 and you find that, you'd be like, oh, this guy gets it, right? This guy gets what I'm feeling. But it's like, I don't know. I have a lot of experiences now. I'm Unk. I'm not even Unk. I'm just a man. Unk is 27. 28 is you're just a guy now. You're out of the fucking, the Unk chopped dichotomy. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that now. I'm just a guy. I'm just a normal grown man now. And I have this experience constantly. If you want some grown man knowledge, if you're watching this and you're like 20 or 19 or something, okay? I have this experience now where I engage with a piece of media sincerely, and then halfway through realize I'm just like totally outside of the age cohort it's for. And then I'm like, oh, I literally like don't like this, but it's not my place to like it. Right? This is gonna sound gay as fuck. I watched The Amazing Digital Circus. If you follow Horseshoe Theory, you'll know that me and Greg both watched the whole thing and did like a full episode on the finale. I got into it because of I was like, oh, this is an incredibly popular piece of media. I should watch this and have thoughts about it. Right? So I watched the whole thing and I'm like, yes, this is very clearly like not for me. But I think the animation's really cool. It's very creative. I liked a lot of the themes that were popping up. I thought it was funny. I thought the animation was incredibly creative. I was very into it. And the finale I just thought fucking sucked. Because I'm like going into this being like, oh, this is like I have no mouth and I must scream, like commentary on consciousness and commentary on like what meaning is. And I think I looked for deepness that wasn't there. I looked for depth that wasn't there. Because the ending came around and the whole thing ended up being about a like trans suicidal teenager. And there's no conclusion to the ending. There's no good wrap up. And I left it. And me and my girlfriend went to see it, and we were both sort of like ubiquitously, we were both like, yeah, this isn't very good. We thought we were both like, yeah, that was a horrible ending. So I go online to read reviews, and I'm like, surely other people thought this was horrible. Surely other people thought this was a bad ending. No, tens across the board. All the 16-year-old fans were like, oh, this is phenomenal. And that's when I realized, like, oh, wait, I'm a 28-year-old man who just watched, like, what is basically a children's show. Never mind, my opinion's invalid. It's like if I went to go watch the Barbie... I don't know, it's like chud movie reviewers. Who's the guy who screamed about, like... The bald guy who cried about something being, like, black or gay? Was he talking about the Fallout show with the non-binary character or something? He's like a meme now. Yes. Yeah, this video here. Starfield.
Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Because that's all we fucking know! Because we're boring! We're so fucking boring!
Anyway. Yeah, classic. I felt like that guy. Like, I'm complaining about the Amazing Digital Circus finale. I'm like, oh, that's me. I'm literally this guy. So I've given up. I've given up. I'm outside of the age cohort for things that come out now, and I don't care anymore. If I don't like something. Also, yeah, what do you say? California Ideology is a British guy talking about a game that was made in Bethesda, Maryland.
Fucking current day Californian shit.
Yeah, current day Californian shit. He's like this like unrelated concept. California culture is superior to Anglo scum. You know, I'm gonna wrap up soon, but I did have this thought when I landed back in Toronto after being in California for like 6 weeks. I was eager to come home because I wasn't getting a lot of work done, and I wanted to get work done. So when I got back home, I was like, ah, oh, nice, like good to be home. And I was like, I wonder if I'll miss. Maybe I'll miss it. But I was like, I wonder if I'll miss California. And I was walking through downtown Toronto. And just looking at the types of people and like the buildings and the way things flowed and like the signs in the buildings, and I thought, I don't want to live in California. Like I'm a Northeast guy. Like I'm from Nova Scotia. I live in Toronto. You know, I go down to like the Northeast in the States a lot. I'm in DC a lot. I'm a Northeast guy. I'm like Northeast through and through. I like the Northeastern philosophy, because I think a lot of the issue with the Californian philosophy, the Californian ideology, blanketly is this concept that like everything. Yes, I did take a Waymo. I took a Waymo and I listened to Peptide Gooner. Every time I got into Waymo, I put on Peptide Gooner. Everything in California is like designed. Everything in like nothing in California is intuitive. I find like everyone's beliefs, what everyone thinks is good or useful, is all like arrived at by thinking about it. Nothing is like intuitive. And I like the Northeast because it's intuitive. Like when you go to a restaurant here, or when you talk to somebody, right? It's like people know what they value. They just sort of like intuitively value like friends and family and like making enough money and living a good life. And then in California, I find people are like question everything they think. They question everything they think, and they question narratives. They question what they should be thinking, and they break everything down. And they're like, okay, what should I be? And they do like this analysis of what's important and why they should be worried about what they should be worried about. And then they arrive at the conclusion through like thinking about it. Someone put it really well. It was like people. I think it was in a comment on a Scott Alexander post on Substack. But people in California like break down things that people have been breaking down for like 2,000 years. They rebuild, you know, they think about it a lot. They arrive at the conclusion from first principles. And then they build a new worldview that looks exactly like the worldview that someone would have built 2,000 years ago by thinking about it too hard. And then they write like a shitty blog post about it. Right? They'll write like a shitty blog post about why like community is important. You know? It's like, yes, community, like, you know, most people in the Northeast and like especially Europe sort of like blanketly understand that community is important. Like it's very intuitive that community is important. It doesn't take like it doesn't take like some philosophical breakthrough to realize that community is important. But I find in California, like in Los Angeles and in the Bay Area, people are really obsessed with like reconstructing things, and I respect it, and I love the people that I hung out with there, but it's just not me. It's just not me. I'm an intuition man. I'm an intuition man. I feel, I perceive, I judge. Sounds like stoner behavior. Maybe, probably. Imagine how tiresome to live like that really is. Community is like really important, man. Community? God, I figured it out. It's all about friendship and community. And then you write 9 Substack posts about it that get shared around all the AI engineers who think it's like the most revolutionary thing they've ever read in their entire lives. I'm being hyperbolic, but it's broadly true. If I play Peptide Gooner, will I get copyright struck? This is the new tech. This is the new tech. Anyway, that's the new tech. Every time I got into an Uber, or every time I got into a Waymo, when you get into a Waymo, you control everything on the Waymo app. So it hooks up to your Spotify, and then you can it hooks up to your Spotify, and then I can control the temperature. So when I get into a Waymo, they're so cool. I love, like, dude. You may think I'm a Luddite. I love the future. Every time I got in the Waymo, the Waymo would pull up a driverless car with a thing on the top with my name circling on it. I'd approach it. It would read my phone signal and unlock if I was in proximity to it The door handle like rises into the Waymo. You get in the back seat. It's already it's already cold because it's coming to me. Like it drops somebody off, and then the 3 minutes in which it comes to me, it blasts AC because I have it set to do that. So when I get in the Waymo, it's the temperature I want it to be, and then my Spotify automatically starts. And you can blast music in Waymos. You can roll the windows in and blast music and be a nuisance. There's no like restrictions on that. It's really funny. So every time I got into Waymo with anybody I was with the entire month, I would like just blast Peptide Gooner. And I was like, oh, we're living in the fucking future, dude. Every time I was like, this is the future. We're in the future. We are in the literal future. Mark Fisher was wrong. There was no slow cancellation of the future. The future's happening right now. I'm listening to like a half AI generated, half real curated hyperpop song about fucking gooning and peptides in a driverless car. I thought life was so beautiful. I wish we would also stick to utility-based AI as well. But sadly, I don't think that's not really how it works. I guess there's like, I don't know, like AlphaFold. I'm from Argentina. Anything urgent you learned while at this place I should know about? Everyone's just really concerned about AI, and it's a global problem. That's probably it. I think like it's definitely a thing that that you should be concerned about anywhere on the planet because it's a global issue. It's not a California or American issue. It's if something goes catastrophically wrong, it will go catastrophically wrong for everybody on the planet. It won't be just bad for people who live in the Bay Area. It won't be just bad for people who have jobs in tech. It won't be just bad for people who have jobs in coding. It will be bad for literally everybody. I met a Chilean. There was a Chilean girl at the AI Doom boot camp at Lighthaven. Pull her up. She was great. I thought her work was phenomenal. Sure, I don't understand Spanish, so I can't. You can probably just translate. But her whole thing was like doing like tech news in Chilean. I believe she's the biggest Chilean tech news. Yeah, I think she's like one of the biggest Chilean tech news pages. There we go. This got a bunch of likes.
Usar la letra E. Una palabra, fácil. Una frase, ya nos vamos complicando. En el Quijote, 14% del libro son letras E. En la Metamorfosis de Kafka, 17. Pero este libro fue escrito sin ninguna E. A este tipo de texto lo llamamos lipograma.
I thought she was so sick. Meet her at the CNC. You know, you can't go over here to the situation. It's true. Past tomorrow, our Congress will let tech bros buy entire provinces if they want. In Argentina, oh yeah, you guys are. Chile's a bit like that. I know a lot of like libertarians get really obsessed with Chile and Argentina, and they want to move down there and start their network states. And there was no CNC. I'll be honest with you. I would tell you if there was, because it's not a secret that there is, as you know. But I was there for a month. There's no CNC. Last Torchy Theory was a train wreck. The one with Lewis? Yeah. It was fun though. Anyway, I'm gonna peace out. I'm gonna peace out here. What are we at? 10:45. Oh, perfect. It's like I intuited. It's been 3 hours exactly. Yeah, that's the stream for the evening. Join the Discord link below. I gotta pump the Discord more. Yeah, hopefully back. I'm gonna be back 2 or 3 times a week with a 2 or 3 hour stream. 8 p.m. EST. You know the rules. You know how it's been. We're back. We're so back. We're back with the streams. I'll let you know. Kill your avatar. I'll let you know if I want this clipped. Probably don't want it clipped because I didn't have any like segments. Next time, hey, I gotta pump the Discord. I'm just getting in. Thanks for waiting. How we doing, fam? Yeah, come on. Don't say things like that. I guess I'm leaving. Anyway, yeah, I'll let you know in the future if I want stuff clipped. I'm gonna try to like start setting it up like segments again, and doing stuff for a clip channel. Anyway, I'll let you know. But dope. Thank you. I'll see you probably Thursday night. If I do believe, if I believe correctly. Anyway, God bless. Never kill yourself. Have a phenomenal evening.